The same. I mean, you got a lot of magical burst. Mars, typically not a Vanguard or Hood buyer. You can, but doesn't really fit with the hero's kit. Perhaps just because it's a flex. I could play this 1, 2, or 4.
I wouldn't be surprised by a casual Hood by the Mars. Goes well with the Soul Ring. Seen some Mars do that as long as they feel like they can buy some phase boots and participate in fights in a meaningful way without the Blink Dagger. Or the Yules. He's already got decent setup with the Shadow Demon. Will they draft him a little bit more ease of execution? If so, it'll enable him to go the more greedy defensive items.
10 seconds remaining.
But yeah, you don't feel good about it. The reason why it's different on Mars than it is on Axe and Centaur, I find myself getting asked this question a lot, is because Axe and Centaur, they tank creeps and they farm. Mars actually needs mana items. He needs right-click items to buff up the God's Rebuke. You don't accelerate yourself as a Mars by buying a Hood. You only make yourself able to be more durable.
Yeah. Centaur, you don't need anything other than double-edge spam to farm, and Hood allows you to do that more efficiently. Mars, you need damage. I think that a lot of players actually lose out on opportunities to have better performances because they don't go for the greedy, but I think cost-effective items like Desolator on Mars. Like if you just have Blink Deso, you are an insane threat all game.
I actually did the Desolator build on Mars against an Enchantress because I was so annoyed with it. I'm like, this guy just walks into me and I can't kill him with an arena. And I think Tiny's kind of similar, where it feels really bad as Mars if there's a really beefy guy showing in lane and you can't feel fully confident they're going to get bursted by your arena. The Deso really does solve that. It buffs up the damage from your entire team, but the God's Rebuke freaking hurts, man.
Yep. Remember when we saw, I think it got nerfed, but there was a core Mars. The style was you'd get, a damage item, a Deso, and then the Ags. And you just turn on Ags.
It's kind of a meme, I think. But in theory, if you're able to do it, it's just the fact that you usually need other items is the problem. Deso's like kind of cheap. So if you just need a little bit of damage follow-up, it's like, okay, I delayed my timings by 3,500. But the Deso also accelerates your timings because your God's Rebuke one-shots creep waves after you get it. But the Ags, it's just clunky, man. It feels really good later or super early, but then if you're like an Ags Deso Mars, don't they just kill you? It's kind of the problem.
Who knows? It's strange that it was prioritized above Axe and Centaur, though. Although VP, you look at their bans, they think this is just a mid-Mars, which is something we've seen out of Toronto, Tokyo, but I'd be a little scared if that was the direction they were going. I'm not sold on it as a mid-hero, especially against Virtus Pro.
Doesn't that feel like, doesn't that work exactly to what you were talking about, though, Kyle? That you feel like these Mars are doing enough damage when they just go for this very safe Blink BKB. Let's throw in a cheap damage item in there. The best way to do that is by putting them in a higher net worth priority.
Sure, but that's the trouble, is that I haven't seen them itemizing this way no matter how much farm they've been getting. And I don't know. We'll see. It's one of those heroes that's
Dire team's turn to pick.
hard for me to judge properly until I see the rest of the draft break out.
Okay, so we've been seeing this hero crop its face up a little bit, or pop its whatever it is. So we've seen it. We've seen it a lot, especially as a 5. And the reason why is I believe the popularity of heroes such as Medusa, which I'm very curious if they're setting it up already for 4th pick. It just goes really well with these range safe laners. Not only does it serve as a frontliner for you, but it also serves as like a save if you ever get gone on in the laning stage. You can get them to peel off of your carry by walking next to your carry and cogsing. So it's
fun to watch, right? It's always been one of the more higher skill supports, just because you've got this one tool, this hook can be used from anywhere, pierces, interrupts even through BKB, and then later in the game when 4 steps, it's not about trapping people in cogs, it's about finding the right moment to cut somebody off and create a
force them back into your team and make the rest of their team not be able to help them.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and especially with the new shard, the jetpack, we've seen Ags rushed pick up, and then you just suddenly have 2 of everything. It's just a really impactful hero when played right. And
any other carries that come to mind with Clockwork, Drow Ranger, Troll, any of those other range heroes, or are you set on Medusa?
I don't think you can pick Drow here. You could last pick it. But yeah, you kind of just like, the problem is that Drow, you get like PL or like some gap closing carry.
But if I'm not mistaken, didn't Spirit play this Dusa last season against Virtus Pro in that deciding 3rd game? And I remember distinctly Yatoro picking up a rapier and dying outside of the Roche pit alone, and that was the game and that was the series.
Sounds like you're harboring. That's a very specific memory of that game right there.
Tosh.0 redemption right here, right now in this game 1. They get the morph, which can be a bit spooky if you end up getting disrupted. But looking at this draft, an E-Blade with the Vortex down is an insane amount of burst. He's going to go straight for this SD all game.
Let's be clear. This is like the best Morphling game I've seen in a while. At least because, yes, it's not amazing versus Dusa early, but Shadow Demon Clock do absolutely nothing to kill you, and it's one of the few carries that can still lane when Mars hits 6. So you just present this hero on the map that can do whatever the hell it wants in terms of survivability, and you have 3 playmakers. And so your team's going to run around killing people. You're not going to be a liability while they do so, and you might even be able to show up and contribute with just some spell casting. This seems like such a straightforward Morphling game. Dream pick here might even be a mid laner for all I guess it would have to be carry Tiny at that point, so never mind. It's going to be carry Morph.
Yeah.
They're even giving... They're assuming that this Mars will not be off lane. That matchup against Morph just sucks because most of your laning damage is physical. Morphling gets armor pretty quick. And then, like I said, you just don't threaten him at level 6. It's one. I can't really think of any other carry, maybe Life Stealer, but you can kind of poke him down early. There's just no stage of the lane that feels good against Morph. AA's been super annoying as a safe lane support nowadays.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind something like a Pugna.
For Team Spirit or Virtus Pro?
For Team Spirit. Like, in terms of laning against a Morphling, I think Viper's all right.
They are straight up assuming that's a mid-Mars.
Yep.
I see a lot of teams employing this idea where if that's an off-lane Mars and they pick a mid laner, we've got a great matchup. So we'll just assume that that's a mid-Mars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they'll pick accordingly. It's for Virtus Pro's side, you're likely looking at an off-laner. You think it's a Medusa. I mean, you could pick a Viper yourself, but I think I overrate that hero. Probably some tower damage would be best. Not a terrible Death Prophet game. Maybe you'd like...
I should have said it. I should have said it.
Yeah. The damage reduction on a hero that abuses attacking multiple heroes. It's always going to be pretty solid.
You can even go Crimson. It's usually not a very exciting item, but against Medusa for the majority of the early stages, she usually goes for second item Ag, so your right-click damage is pretty limited for a while, and they don't have amazing damage output on Team Spirit already, making Underlord... Underlord's not good at making a lot of damage turn into little. He's good at making damage issues become irrecoverable. And that's
so a damage dealing offlaner that also can help the Deuce out in some way. What about like Beastmaster or something?
Is that hero an offlaner? Like, I actually don't know.
I wouldn't mind it. I think that's solid. I'd go for a casual Beastmaster. Oh, what?
No, everyone assumed it was going to be mid-Mars. Nope, Team Spirit. They're going to swerve it out. They go for the Invoker, and it looks like a good Invoker game to me.
It's a lot of damage. I think that's what they were going for. They have decent setup. I actually would like to see him go Exort in this game with how much disruption, cogs, Mars Spear, and just lack of mid-game damage you have. But the problem is then you might be running too greedy, and at that point, if you go Quas Wex, you might have some serious issues bringing down all 3 of these cores for VP. I just like what VP's got. I think the Morphling pick might have just been too good.
All right, too good of a Morphling game. Kyle, your last thoughts from over there?
I don't know. I'll tell you my thoughts.
Okay.
You have my thoughts.
All right.
You got this.
I mean, I have to like the Invoker, right? Are we going to be, we're going to see like a Quaswex Invoker, right? Go Spirit Vessel against a Morphling. Like, you said it yourself. If anybody's going to be carrying this team, it's going to be Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah,
right?
if they get past like the 25-minute mark on even footing, I think they got this. The Medusa Morphling or the Medusa Invoker lineup. But I know the pace that VP's been setting. We talked about their lane dominance so far. The Morph's going to have such a free time, which means everyone else gets to do whatever they want. And I think that's going to lead to some pretty snowbally 15, 25 minutes. All
right, if Team Spirit hopes to be able to take down the big dogs of Virtus Pro, it all starts with having a successful laning phase. Let's see if they can pull that off with Odipsil and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, an exciting series here, of course. VP versus Team Spirit, the top 2 right now in the league. And Carl, what do you make of this? We are seeing a GPK morph come through, and overall, it does look like a pretty nice morph game.
Indeed it does. Indeed it does. And he should have a pretty nice matchup, too, against an Invoker. You've got a 15 base damage advantage to start the laning phase. That is just unreal. When players of this skill go up against one another. And I gotta say, Virtus Pro, their draft, relatively simple. I think they're gonna have a free farm Tiny as well. And then they're gonna hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sort of see them having any issues in the laning stage? Like, are there any sort of lane matchups that might be a bit tough for them?
Perhaps if you overstep, you know, Clockwork can be really annoying to deal with, especially for a hero like Underlord. But my concern is that I look at Spirit's lineup and I just don't see easy ways for them to make plays, to find kills. I agree with what Brian and Cap are saying. I'd love to see an export invoker, but if you do that, what's the play, right?
Sure,
it's
who's
just
the play
Sunstrike
man?
setups with Shadow Demon, and like that's how you're gonna kill things. It's just a lot of combo required.
Let's see here, around the runes.
Snowball fight.
Team Spirit. Well, they are gonna force Nightfall away here from the top one, so Spirit. We'll start off with the 3 bounties.
The cast point improvements, the only reason you can get that off used to be I don't think you could cast that while Clock was on top of you.
Well, let's see. I mean, obviously on this top lane, with the fact that they are running the GPK morph, having this safe lane, Tiny, are you a fan of this sort of dynamic when it's a good game, sort of have that carry hero in the mid,
Oh yeah,
down in the hands of someone like GPK, and then get Nightfall to be that, you know, that hero that's going to be secured safe lane farm with the build up for his first time, you know, getting that blink early on, and then he's just going to be looking to make plays.
yeah. In a lot of ways, I think if you can get away with it, it's way better to have your win condition in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And Tiny, all he needs is Blink Dagger level 10. So keep that in the safe lane. You know, it's pretty impossible to really punish a Tiny, even if you fall behind the lane. Like a toss back is always threatened. This is a bit rough though. Save is not doing well. That could be a courier, but he actually ignores it completely.
So make sure he gets out of the range of Miposhka. Poshka is able to get him with another battery, so I mean, he's still save.
He's just dead.
He has got boots as well
Oh, wait.
himself. It's going to be close. Can he get enough hits in Miposhka? One more. He's got it.
Wow.
First blood there. Save just a little bit all over the place there with his movement down there around the top.
Yeah, that was very weird. He just got effectively solo killed. He might know that there's a ward there. I think that was the main reason Miposhka was able to continue chasing in that.
Yeah.
But still, you don't expect that. You don't see it every day.
No, and I like this as well from Miposhka instigating the wind lay sent out as well, so now he's easily going to have that movement speed advantage.
Oh. Oof, big snake. That's so huge for Dusa because you just get full mana right off the bat. I like this build from Yotaro too. I see a lot of Medusas just going for the heavy stats, but yeah, looks like double Wraith into Treads, into Rush Manta. It's such a good item now on Dusa after the change. You have so much more uptime, more damage output from the illusions as well. It was the hero I think most impacted by the Manta change. In second place, perhaps this one right here, the Morphling.
Yeah.
I'd say Luna, but Luna I don't believe in as a hero. Needs a lot more than a Manta change.
And we're seeing this mid lane matchup. It's pretty much as you said. You know, this is what you expect. I mean, this is maybe a bit more brutal than you'd expect. You know, we're seeing 13 to 9 against the 6 for 0, or this.
Hey,
this is just
look
a
at the damage. Click the heroes. Like, how are you supposed to outlast hit somebody that has, you know, an extra 2 creeps where he can kill it and you can't? Like that's an impossible creep for Invoker to last hit because Morph can kill it. He misses that one, unfortunately, for my point. But Invoker can't deny.
It's hard. It's very tough. But this is something as well that you got to take into account. Like Spirit, you know, they know the matchup. They would have known that this was going to happen,
Yeah,
right? They
true.
put this mid. Their game plan, you know, for them, it doesn't matter that the Invoker has a tough lane because they picked this into this.
Maybe. Oh. I think he's maybe dead. DM. Oh. Wow.
He's actually going to get away, and it'll actually be Miposhka taken down. Same time, top lane collapse. He's going to get the spear back onto Nightfall.
He threw the tree.
And they actually got the damage. They'll take out his courier. Nightfall's got the Fairy Fire, but there's a lot of poison stacking up and enough to bring Nightfall down. Get the kill done, Team Spirit. Collapse. He wants to get another. In fact, with the spear up, he might just be able to do so. Has to set him onto Kingslayers. Team Spirit there with a straight up outplay. Take out the 2 of them.
Really well done. The only thing really going wrong for Spirit right now is that the mid lane's a disaster.
Sure. I mean, and that's, as I say, they knew that this was going to happen. So if you consider that, well, you
GPK is a bit of an X factor. It's the same when you play against a lot of these top tier guys, you know. Suddenly a matchup that you thought was maybe a losing one, but bearable, well, then it's Sumail, or it's GPK, or it's Thompson. And you're like, damn, this is way more imbalanced than I thought it was.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they were expecting to get a little more out of the matchup because it is indeed proving to be very tough for Toronto Tokyo. See again down bottom, very close to bringing down DM at this top lane. Really nice call as well, especially we'll see this play that Team Spirit make after getting Nightfall. You know, collapse, knowing that there's still more work to be done. He may be sitting around on sub 100 HP, but he knows with a wraparound and a good spear, there's another kill to be had.
Yep. Really nice play. 1000 HP level 4 with the bracer. Nice stuff.
We'll see here around the mid, Maposhka.
This is really nice. If you control Morph's runes, makes the Quaswex Invoker significantly stronger. You're always hitting the Tornado EMP.
We'll see, you know, I think we will see Toronto Tokyo now starting to catch up a little bit now that the levels are coming in. He's got a bit more to play with in the lane. We'll see how much of the gap he can close whilst it still remains in this 1v1 mid.
So far, all 3 lanes going VP's way. Even though they are a bit down in kills, CS is on point. And the concern I have is that it's one of those games where VP have no incentive to mix up the lanes until they have, you know, items online. Support's level 6, Tiny with a blink. I don't know if Spirit can afford to let them do that, but at the same time, how are you going to make rotations? It's going to have to be the Invoker TPing to a side lane, I think.
Sure.
You're not going to make a play on Morphling in this game. You just don't have the stuns.
Top seeing collapses, struggling a little bit to get in onto the creeps. Gap continuing to grow between him and Nightfall in this 2v2.
I think he saw that ward. Yeah, you see the toggle. Sentry just came in. They're going to find this.
Keeping your Toro on his toes here. Hard to make a move on him. Maposhka by his side. Top lane, Nightfall. He got the damage. Oh!
What? You didn't click that.
He didn't need to land it. He didn't need to land it. They get the kill.
I don't know why you can click it. It's not a boomerang. You know, there's no tracking component to a tree. But, yeah, targeted ability.
Collapse. Line up Kingslayer here. The level 3 spear. And he's got the connection.
Wow.
The damage. Just able to straight up walk in and take him down. Nightfall comes in with the combo. And now he's going to end up taking a lot of damage as well himself. With the poison upon him, Nightfall has to back off. And both teams just sort of finding opportunities to just walk down these poor supports.
Yeah. Surprised he allowed that to happen. Nice job. I think Mira will get that stack.
You thirsty mana, boy.
You see him mid. Being aggressively here to try and play around the EMP. But honestly, with things said and done, this mid lane, you see it on the net worth. You know, Toronto Tokyo, he catches up. You know, this is why they picked this Invoker. He knows that even with the tough, you know, few waves that he's going to have on the early levels, once the game starts to pick up a bit and the Invoker's got his skills ready to go, Toronto Tokyo, he's easily able to start closing that gap on GPK's farm.
Yep. He's doing good. Pushing the tower is really nice in this scenario too. He knows he can push GPK back to base, so we'll get some pressure off in the meantime. A big part of it, I think, though, is the Clockwork controlling the runes. 2 of them have been denied a GPK. When you're a Bottle Rush Morphling, that's pretty devastating. You don't want to be forced to buy regen. Whereas Quaswex Invoker, you get free regen thanks to the Quas spam, and then later you're just burning mana consistently. Gets 3rd damage on tower while GPK's gone. Not bad.
He's playing this really well in Toronto Tokyo. GPK going to try and get in aggressive, but Toronto Tokyo more than okay. Bottle charges and Verify ready to go. Save does come across, but I'm not he's getting on this. It's just going to be around these 8-minute spawns. What's there to be found? And it is down bottom. So again, Team Spirit with the superior rune control.
Ooh. I didn't realize it was a Bottle Invoker. We don't see that very often at all. Right?
No, for sure. No, it is something a bit different. I guess we're just down to the fact that they know, as you said, they're going to prioritize just stopping the Morph getting his runes so much that, you know, why not play with the benefit of using that regen for yourself?
That's true. And you don't have any other heroes in your team that are buying Bottle. Maybe the Clock would, but definitely want to have at least one core with it. Such a valuable item.
No, very solid stuff from Team Spirit around this mid.
The typical passivity we've come to expect from the Eastern European region, though. You know, very methodical game on both sides. This is the first time we've really seen anybody switch lanes, and it's just for some pokes from the Willow. Doesn't need to help his Underlord too much anymore. DM is actually enormous. Early hood, arcanes, skip the soul ring. He had such a good time. He'll have a hood finish momentarily, and then he just straight up doesn't die.
Yeah.
Like he's pressuring the Medusa. Look at the amount. You know?
With the setup onto Toronto Tokyo. Coming out to take him down, the Poshko to push back the Dark Willow here with the Cogs. They've got the Cold Snap and the MP down onto GPK. GPK, he's out of mana. They're running him down. Kingslayer and Save trying to help out. He will not be able to turn around with that final bit of burst of mana, but still keeps the distance. Doesn't want to get in onto Mirror. Save actually taking a lot of damage here from the neutrals as well. Save's gone. Tries to dive in to push them back, but ends up losing his life friend. Time's been brought now for Collapse to swing across from the top lane. Kingslayer, he's not getting out either. As Team Spirit, they've got the numbers. They're able to turn things around, set Toronto Tokyo up for a double kill, as this mid lane is just going better to better.
I mean, why did they stick around, Owen? That was wild. Like, you had 3 heroes, VP, or Spirit rather, like they brought 4. And not just that, you're trying to like dive with a Willow and an AA. Like, Morphling doesn't have the damage to close kills here, and Invoker Clock alone provide more than enough damage and disruption. Very odd maneuver there, but it does buy some space. You know, top lane was pushed in by Nightfall. Now he TPs, and they'll probably get a free tier 1 out of this. Just stand behind DM, let him hit it. Has the hood. He's not really a target for anybody anymore. But Dusa will do the same.
Yep.
The old switcheroo.
Straight up to the top half. And so far, a 6-2 1k lead. You are looking at this mid area. They're playing around their Invoker very nicely. You know, as you sort of saying on the panel, it's this game for Spirit. It's a lot on how much Toronto Tokyo can do, and so far these early signs looking pretty strong and solid for their idea of what they're going to achieve around it.
Yeah, and all's well that ends well. You've got a Medusa Invoker top the net worth charts. No pressure at all on Yatoro. This is fine with me if you're Spirit. Trading Tiny Farm for Medusa, you'll do that all day.
They're not quite able to get in range there for a setup. As VP play it safe.
Nice sentry. Fresh ward taken out. Really well done. Platinum Poshka.
Lovely little item, of course, found here for VP. The trinket. Really stay in the hands of either GPK or Nightfall.
6 wards destroyed already. Yeah, he got the one bottom in the lane as well earlier on, which used to just be like, oh, that's cute, but now as a support, it's so rewarding. Not just the psychological factors, the limitation of the vision, but the golden XP, man. And here's the Shadow Demon effect.
Yeah, talk about golden XP, Yatoro. Got a lot to clean up here. Very nice for him, and with the lack of vision of Spirit being able to have that ward control. Very hard for VP to make any sort of aggressive move into the triangle of Spirit, so not even as we're seeing a huge rush to take down the stack. Yatoro can take him as he wishes.
See, the top wave was pinged out by Toronto Tokyo. Not sure why. He's moving from the Willow here just to scout the stack, see what's going on.
Well, what can they do about it? I see that it's happening, but can VP really put something together over it? I don't think they can right now.
It's more about the threat. So many heroes aren't showing that.
I mean, they got a hook shot. Save. Gonna be able to get himself into the Shadow Realm. Good to hold him back. The Tornado, oh, not quite catching him. So Save will manage to get out of there. I'll turn their attention over towards DM, but DM's got the rift going. They won't have the damage to take DM out before he's able to get safely out of it.
I think you take that, though. There's nothing being done on the map from VP, right? Bottom lane's just sitting there. So they had 4 or 5 heroes in the vicinity, but they're forced to just run away. The Dusa finishes the stack, almost. They're just going to stack it one more time, so that works. He'll get 2 free waves in the meantime.
So much farm there for Yatoro, prepared perfectly. Full vessel now done onto Toronto Tokyo, so stepping up the ability to make these moves, make these plays. VP, they're still trying to find that hit here.
Yeah, blink on Tiny, right? Yeah, this is going to be their first move.
So who do you jump? The setup here, they'll go for the backlines, go for the support to be able to blow a mirror. Arena's down. Try for the counter play. Fear comes out, starting to push back Collapse, but GPK's under the tower with the hookshot control as well. GPK trying to run. He's got to get out of it. Save's taken out. They have lost Collapse, so 2 down on Spirit. Combo comes in onto Toronto Tokyo. It's not enough to kill it. A VP, they'll take 2, only losing 1 themselves. They're coming out on top there of that movement.
Yeah, that's a blink reveal, though. I think you're fine with this if you're Spirit.
Well, you're
You
not
know-
losing your big calls.
Yeah, and VP, it's going to be tough for them to take these fights. GPK is not really a heavy damage dealer just yet. Underlord, sure, you're farmed, but like, how do these fights work for them? Like, they can get that first pick off, but with Spirit, they have the Disruption, they've got the Purge, the Clock Hook, the Mars Arena, Medusa ult. This is a pretty tough team to run at.
Absolutely. Yatoro is going to hit these excellent timings. Manta style after this stack's pretty much going to be done here at 14 minutes in. Ridiculously fast farm here from Yatoro's due to this game.
You say ridiculously?
Ridiculously.
Ridiculously. Ridiculously fast. No, you do have a point. And the one danger is that, as we've discussed, if you check out the Mars, he's got, I believe, a Soul Ring. He was going for a hood.
He's trying to get
It is, yeah, hood and a pipe. So Underlord, sure, going the same items, but he's farming with just Q spam. Mars really likes to scale a bit better, and he won't be able to do so. It's going to be Medusa versus the world. VP will have a little more help just because this offlaner is going to be so beefy, and later in the game, the minus, it's the damage reduction, right? It actually like removes an item from Medusa in theory. Like so much damage disappears when you walk into range of that Underlord.
It's all right. I mean, it's
toss out.
Big confidence from him. Get tossed back, but he's able to get the stone gaze off, and with this, he'll start to back off. Jump in for the Tiny, but the combo's down, the arena's out. The fear does come into play, giving Nightfall a little bit of safety. The pushback Spirit. Neither side actually ending up losing anyone. Both are able to disengage. I mean, a fantastic fear there from the Willow. Otherwise, Nightfall would have been dead for sure in the arena. But able to save it.
Yeah, you can see they just, I talked about the lack of stuns on Spirit. Well, VP, they really don't have that many either. It's stand in the pit, stand in the brambles, sure. But even with a great toss back, that's not enough to land the kill. Yatoro thought about going back to base. He was like, wait, I've got enough for a snake. I'll just go farm woods. That's exactly what he does. Big stack.
Just constant income here for Yatoro. Going to be going for that build that we are seeing favored nowadays on the Deuce of the Manta straight into the Ags.
Yep. And this is the net worth gap. It's straight up just because Yatoro can farm Ancients, and I believe as we watch Kingslayer do this, or Nightfall do the same, that's the first Ancient that VP have killed. The first camp. Yatoro, how many has he cleared? 6, 7?
Insane amount.
28%. Wow. Don't know the exact numbers, but stats don't lie.
And in this sort of game, are you okay with this as Team Spirit to have that much wealth on the Medusa? Because it's a pretty good Medusa game, or how are you feeling at this stage, you think, of your Spirit?
Hard to say, really. It's going to come down to execution. I don't think either side has a massive draft or team fight advantage. It's just going to come down to how well you click your buttons. The area control from Spirit is better, but VP have significantly more burst and raw spell damage. But Spirit can certainly disrupt their combinations.
But who are you bursting if you're VP? Because like we saw that last fight, the way it started, it's pretty ideal, right?
Yeah.
You're tossing in the Deucer. As you said, they couldn't actually burst or control her before she's able to pop the ult and walk away. I mean, so I get Deucer's not really the target.
It's the SD and the Invoker. I like DM too. He gets the pipe, but he'll go for the Atos next to add a little bit of extra control. That's been their issue so far. That hard lockdown makes it so all the rest of their spells will just land.
Save, coming in aggressive with the wraparound, looking towards Maposhka. Maposhka's gonna get some backup. The team's coming in. Collapse, lay down the arena's trap save. Over to the side, EMP comes down onto GPK and DM taking out a lot of their mana. DM is gonna try for the rift out. They got the damage to take him out in time. Oh, it's close. They don't have enough. DM able to reset there for him and GPK.
That is sick. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They forced the buyback on Maposhka. Hook just out of range, on target, but falls short.
I did have to buy back for this Maposhka. Not able to get anything going.
Collapse once he uses Arena. Like, I don't know. That was a bit awkward. And it's the trouble. I'm telling you, man, I hate this build on Mars.
Well, you want to see a Blink or a Yules?
Yeah, a Blink, a Yules, or damage. Because at least damage, it eventually pays for itself. Because you're now clearing creep waves and a jungle camp at the same time it used to take you just to get the creep wave. But, and you're more of a threat. Blink Yules, that gives you catch. You can actually threaten one of these big VP cores. The Hood is just like, well, I missed my arena, so that was my hero. You know, I'm done for now.
Sure, and it's what it is, a build that sort of resigns you to this level of farm, right? You're never going to see this Mars jump up the charts. Now.
Exactly.
He's pretty much saying, you know what, it's all on you, DOTA.
Yeah, and if you check out Invoker, Toronto, Tokyo, a similar idea. He'll go back for the Midas. I actually really like this. Yeah, because he went for a very aggressive build early on. Fully going Wex, Vessel. You need to have something, because otherwise, if you look at his net worth, he'll fall down to where the Mars is residing at a point. And you'll have this farm Medusa, but VP will have like 3 super fat cores and an AA that prevents a Satanic from ever being viable. Medusa.
See that jump in, immediately caught out by the Tornado. See if they can still catch Mirror. They've got the Rune. Shadow Demon. We're actually going to see an aggressive hook shot in as Miposhka. He tried to break the fight up, but Mirror's already gone, and Miposhka, he's going to die for his efforts here as well. 2 supports taken down.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
I'm dead.
You know, they're always going to be able to get the supports. The cores, that'll be the trouble, but I do like the way they're playing. Really nice Dragonlance build as well. I think that's always a good decision when you're playing against a clock and an SD. You want to make it harder and harder for them to actually get appropriate spell usage, and in addition, makes it simple for him to hit in the pit, in the brambles, all the big AoE control of DM. Positioning is going to be key for this Virtus Pro side. They get a tier 2 at just 20 minutes and change.
They do. Some fast stuff here with the push of GPK's Morph. 7-7, 20 minutes in. Very much a game where, as you say, it's sort of the steady pace that we've come to expect. And definitely when we're seeing sort of a matchup between these 2 teams here at the top of the league. Some very sort of safe and calculated Dota coming out for them. Toro, he's actually going to look to the opportunity of starting to do the Roshan here with Collapse.
I don't know how much of a timing is this. We're going to find out.
Can they get away with this? I mean, it's obviously a bit of a difficult one. If VP do come across, they will have a fight to bring. But as we're seeing, you know, Spirit, they've got a lot of combo breaking. They have the Axe on DOTA, the Stone Gaze as well. You know, Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka, they're ready to really disrupt the fight if he gets brought to them. And it looks like VP...
We got no idea.
They've not caught wind of the fact that Spirit have been able to sneak in here with the DD Medusa. And this is going to be a free Roshan for Spirit. This is huge.
Oh, yeah. No, it's even huger is that DD. I can hear Nahaz, his sigh of frustration in my ears. Why does DD work on Roshan?
Because what, that never happens without that.
No. Maybe they make that same play, but you gotta figure, like, AA Blast was thrown out, right? Like, that's gonna find them in time. Instead, they clear it. And, you know, the win condition for Spirit. Very obvious. It is all about the DOTA. What's Tiny's got Blink Echo, so going for more of the burst style. Yeah, BKB next. Can we check out all the items to see if there's anything coming up anytime soon? But Team Spirit, they seem pretty comfortable going for the late game. The Ags timing so that they can look to take fights also helps the farm speed. Toronto with the Midas. VP, they went for fights. You know, Manta Morph, Blink Echo, like they're in theory ready to go. But how do you go?
It is down the line going to get to that point of how do you take this Medusa 100-0? I do like what they're doing. I think they have to go this way. They need some sort of crazy outworldish damage. GPK is going to be going for the Axe next so they can do the Morph Willow. And that in itself, that absolutely could provide the late game damage potential to really even threaten the Medusa if they can get the Morph Willow online.
It's like watching 2 old Roman legions performing attrition warfare. You can see DM just pretty much ditched. As soon as he saw enemy heroes, he's like, oh, I'm just going to try to channel my ultimate. Wasn't able to do so, and just gets out. But neither squad can take a fight that isn't on their perfect terms. 5-on-5, probably not even in the cards. Spirit, they invite your aggression. VP, pretty hesitant to give them what they want here. And to your point, Ags with Willow, it's never bad. And it will give them the ability to outrange the DOTA. They'll have all this control and muddle fighting around the pit and then raining in damage. The Trebuchet is firing.
I mean, they're really going to need it all. Toro's Medusa is so massive, so early on. You know, just 23 minutes in. And for the DOTA to be where they are right now is, you know, for Team Spirit, I think they're going to be very happy with this early game. They haven't been run over whatsoever. They've gotten away with it big time. You know, Toro is just so far ahead of anyone else in the game right now.
I think you're pretty satisfied. I think I came in expecting VP as a pretty heavy favorite, but so far, pretty even game.
gonna try with some bit of a poke here onto GPK. And you get the spear. Have they got the damage? Excellent fear yet again from Save. We'll push back the three of them. We'll see. Yeah, with the Rift, they're gonna back out of this. They don't want to take this fight. Spirit coming in full force. VP immediately will get themselves out of there off the back of DM.
The thing is, Tiny's been... I keep looking at the minimap as these sorts of plays happen. It's always Nightfall who's farming off by himself. But is that a thing? He has the shard. That was early, just to ensure he could permanent tree grab for farming speed. But is this a thing? Tiny carry?
Early in the league, I think when we started the season, Brian, when he got here, he was on about this. He tried it out and he said, you know what? With the new shard, carry Tiny, it could work. Like, with the way that Tiny goes down, you know, you've got this insane amount of armor, with the permanent tree grab, there's talents for it as well. Because like, there is potential there. There is potential to be quite the late game carry.
Well, we're going to find... I mean, he's been the one farming Ancients.
Yeah.
He's the one split pushing, and he's in spitting distance of GPK on the Morphling. So definitely going to end up as one of this like 3-core versus 1-core setups. But again, then that Midas on Invoker, I'm telling you, it's going to pay dividends. This game is not ending anytime soon.
No, this is what we want to see. We're going to see this really scale up. And if anything, you know, it's sure it's a 1K lead for VP. I think that the biggest challenge is definitely on the shoulders of VP to see whether they can, you know, weather the fights against this Medusa.
Oh, so far, it's they've had to just call a cab. They're not willing to engage in any sort of bar fight. They're getting out well before last call. I like the build. Yeah, you're going for Lotus next. Just beefing up. Actually, what's the Lotus for? Do they have a 4-staff on somebody?
Well, I think you just you're looking to just Lotus GPK.
Sure, but
you want to protect this morph.
You don't have BKB, and you have no 4-staff. So Clockwork of Miposhka, yeah, he might be a 5 position, but he's effectively an auto kill if he catches the Underlord or a support.
See Kingslayer working towards this.
Somebody's the responsible one.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many items that feel good on DM. You know, as an Underlord, you don't really want a 4-staff as one of your 6. But as you say, definitely. Question is whether it's going to be enough just having it on the AA. There's also the option down the line for the Dragon Lance to turn into a Hurricane Pipe, but of course that's probably not going to happen anytime soon because it's not a very smart usage of gold on the morph. So many other items that GPK wants to be getting done. And the Ags, very close to being there. It's going to be there in 500 gold.
Just crazy how, you know, one of the cooler things about the DPC and the format, they think this is real, but they're going to find out. Nope. How the regional metas and gameplay sort of take on their own unique identities. Eastern Europe is so much slower than Western Europe, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just far more methodical. These teams are not, they're playing mistake-free when possible. Yeah. You know, you compare that to the OG Nigma Liquid playstyle. That's chaos.
Quite a nice one here for Yatoro. I think that's one of the ones he loves to find. He gets the Paladin sword. So now for Yatoro's now got the Paladin sword. He's now got the full Skadi. It's just looking scarier and scarier.
We'll see. VP, like, they've actually eked out a little bit of a net worth lead. This is my big concern. I like the Solar Crest as a pickup, but Mars with just a pipe is really going to be a negligible source of damage later on in this game. It's going to be Yatoro versus the world. They'll have a Solar, pop that on him, the Alacrity.
He's going to have a lot of buffs.
Make illusions of him with the Shadow Demon. You can even see Mira playing with the illusion as if it's a hero, just continuing to pressure this top lane. There's the Ags, so the Willow damage will start to come out. Nightfall with the BKB. Top net worth on his team, truly a carry, Tiny.
Farming the wave here, but Miposhka got the lead in onto him. The spear connection as well, straight into the tree. Nightfall, he's going to get taken out. Farming a little too aggressively on the front, and nothing that the rest of VP could do to keep him safe once he gets caught by that combo. See DM going to prepare here for the D push around the tier 2, but they are going to have to defend without their carry now.
I'm dead.
So they're coming in with the wraparound. Toronto, Tokyo, and Yatoro. Let's see if they can set something up behind. Collapse has got the arena. He's going to start stepping in. He has the ult already. If he sees the chance to lock him down, TM. He's taking full damage here from Yatoro. The fear will push him back, but the BKB's out for Toronto Tokyo. If they continue to focus in onto TM will get the pin off, but TM will fall. Yatoro takes down another. So an aggressive zip in from GPK, looking for the waveform over towards Collapse. The arena's down, Collapse will fall. Toro continue to pummel into both GPK and Save. The freeze as well for the Stone Gazers. GPK's got to be careful, as they've lost Save. GPK having to reset and get his way back to the fountain. We are seeing just the struggles of trying to do anything and trying to fight anywhere near Yatoro.
And you got to be really careful as well as GPK. He's playing against Vessel and Scotty. That's a lot of regen reduction. So the unkillable factor of this Morphling not really existing. You don't do enough damage yet. Is this dire side? Yatoro is just, I mean, how does he even have it? Collapse just runs in. That's the initiation. There's a BKB to Invoker, and even though DM is incredibly tanky, you know, nobody can survive when they're just locked in place for this long.
No, we see GPK trying to go to work with the damage, but the BKB is out for Toronto Tokyo, and at this stage, he doesn't really pose that physical threat that's going to be able to tear down these BKB'd heroes. As we see here, just no chance fighting against Yatoro here. They have to back off, they have to escape. They are going to need some sort of perfect execution, really, VP. It's a perfect team fight to ever threaten the Medusa. I don't know how they do it.
You and me both, Owen. And Maposhka's played a great game, too. This Clockwork, you know, it's underpicked, perhaps, the way we've seen it played in this DPC. Every hook seems to lead to a kill. Always there with the cogs. Doesn't matter which hero on VP you find. If they're isolated for long enough and Yatoro's able to beat into them, that's going to be a kill. Miroslav always trying to get the defensive disrupts off. They're actually more valuable. You know, they kind of invite aggression onto the Dusa, because if you can disrupt Save, you just give him a free manta, more than a manta actually, of damage. Those illusions hurt. And as Fogged said so eloquently the other day, 14 seconds! They last for 14 seconds! He's very shocked.
As well, making sure that Yatoro is also the one getting the gold for some of the ward taken down. So just continuing to do everything to propel the Deuce's farm at all costs. I mean, a few hundred away from having a full Daedalus. VP, they need a big hit, they need a big move. Now, we got the combo. If they jump it off the Shadow Deal, but actually having to get the self-disruption off. So they won't even be able to kill him off straight away. Mirror is still alive, and now VP, after that initial burst, they've got to back off, but the arena's down. CTM starting to take him out again. They have to run, they have to get out of it, but they're getting split apart.
Cancelled.
He did. He stopped it. They want to try and take this fight. They will bring down Collapse. GPK getting it aggressive onto Yatoro. Yatoro starting to run low on the mana. He's able to get another snake off for Yatoro. He's got enough mana here with the mana shield. Mipochka trying to get in to help out. The supports are falling. Can they bring down Yatoro? He's getting low. They'll do it. They'll take down the Medusa. VP with a big brain call to stick around and push on as they'll get on top of this team fight, and they're not done yet. The pit's out to control Toronto Tokyo. Waveform in. Toronto Tokyo's out for the Ghost Walk, but Mirror will be left behind. VP just, I mean, how on earth they managed to see that opportunity there. An incredibly smart call to say, you know what? We can take this fight after they've struggled so many times, and they were absolutely right.
So I don't know how that interacted, but somehow Nightfall got out of the Mars Arena with that offensive Yules from somebody on the side of Spirit. That kept him alive, may have influenced DM's decision to stay there, because suddenly the Tiny was guaranteed to live for that little bit longer. But really, I think Spirit overcommitting on the defensive ability. They popped Dusa ulti and Arena. The Dusa wasn't really able to be used. They'd already disengaged. You got to be closer and more in danger. And now all of a sudden, into the pit.
Away they go. They've got a hook shot. They can look for some aggressive sort of disruption here to try and stop VP.
Hey.
See, Collapse trying to get in on this. Gonna get caught by the Sunstrike. Roshan's down. They'll be able to pick it all up here. VP and already looking for action. Save. He's on top of Mirror. Mirror gonna be protected by the pipe. Arena down. Save. He'll die for this. The space was made. VP able to take everything away from Roshan this time round.
Hook coming in. Poshka?
Okay. Pretty dead.
Very
GPK,
dead.
he's not going to go down anytime soon with both the Aegis and the cheese on him. Also close to having the money for the BKB.
Who's taking the shard? Morphling? Maybe. He's thinking about it.
He's holding on.
Should I be generous?
Yeah, he'll
No.
take it. Gonna buff up his game to the maximum.
It's pretty good. Especially in a game like this. You can expect longer fights, so more adaptives, more damage, longer stun. Oh, that's cool. Wait, he doesn't have it. He's thinking about it. Might go the Daedalus. I actually think that...
He's changing, because he got the Chrysalis and he's saying,
Yeah.
you know what, I need a BKB.
I don't remember who...
Yeah?
We were talking to somebody, weren't we? It was a BSJ, was it Owie? Like, this cold-blooded shard for Dusa is just OP in some people's eyes. Because you get the free snake, but it's also an axe snake. So it'll turn people to stone, interrupt, give back tons of mana, and it's a massive amount of damage. And there's so much single target, you can almost guarantee that it's going to proc a couple times in a fight. Goes to the BKB.
I was going to say, do you think that is necessary this game? You know, you're playing as Medusa, you know, normally as a Medusa, you don't really want to have to buy the BKB, but this game, he feels it is necessary.
I'm honestly not a huge fan. I think that while the magic damage threat is pretty high, you need to deal more damage. Like, that's going to be your issue. Not how long can I survive, but am I actually enough to kill this Underlord and Tiny? And without a Daedalus, I'm not sure he's right for that. We'll see. There's a lot of damage amplification on his side, the Solar, the Alacrity. Perhaps that'll be enough. But they're going for even more healing reduction. Now with the Shivas, it's a tough game. I think you want to target Morphling when possible. The Aegis is frustrating, but you have so much anti-regen that the Morph doesn't really have Morph available.
G-Spirit's trying to take a fight into this Aegis and cheese. Yatoro stepping up. Toronto Tokyo trying to get out with the BKB. He's got to run. GPK being fully focused here by the Skadi Dusa. GPK, can he keep out of reach? He can. They've got the stun control to hold back. And Medusa into the fear as well. Pushing back. Toronto Tokyo. Defensive destruction will come out in time to break the combo from BP. GPK will fall the want. Taking out Toronto Tokyo. Can they do anything about Yatoro? Nightfall stepping in with the BKB himself. He's in on top of Yatoro. Yatoro will just have enough mana to get the Stone Gaze off. As he pops that and the BKB's out to the side. Doesn't actually have enough mana to TP out himself. So he's just got to run for now. Won't catch Mira. Gets away. Aposhka will catch him though. Dust comes in from Kingslayer. VP. I'll find the two of them. Team Spirit, they try and bring some action, bring a team fight towards VP, but they do not come out on top of it.
No, they do not. Now the map has gotten very spooky to play. That's going to be a Scotty on GPK, finished in full. And I see, there you go. The BKB on Dusa, right? What does that accomplish? I think he gets away even without it, just by popping Stone Gaze, and his damage output just is not scary. Could be a shard and nearly a Daedalus. Feel he may come to regret that purchase, but we shall see. Albert picked up on DM, further damage reduction. Really like the way he's played this game so far, and you saw that was a Moon Shard on the Tiny, so
oh yeah,
he is a carry. I
mean, this is yeah, the perfect carry build. I mean, if you're going to do safe lane Tiny, Nightfall he's absolutely nailing it here. And he's keeping up in the scaling. You see, you know, only slightly behind that of the Morph and the Deuce of this game with as much farm as Nightfall's been able to pick up. And Poshka gonna be able to break the combo with a glimmer, but Toronto Tokyo gets jumped off to the side.
Again.
That's what the BKB and run there, nearly getting taken out instead there.
They've done a really good job, mostly from Nightfall, just finding Invoker at the start of every fight. If he isn't able to... Oh, wait, what?
Find him, save! He's caught him! That's Toronto Tokyo dead!
No buyback.
Getting caught outside of the base. 70 seconds, no Invoker. 500 or so gold short of a buyback. Spirit, they're going to have to try and hold us for.
I don't know if you can. I mean, you have a Dusa.
You got the Dusa. They've got the hook shot, in fact, getting aggressive. Sabrina to follow up as well. They're looking to try and burst GPK. The BKB's out. Yatoro can do enough damage. They're trying to keep him far enough away from DM. GPK is able to zip over in time. With the waveform, GPK will get taken out. Save will be left behind. The rest of VP will be able to back off. Successful defense, though, of course, from Spirit. A few casualties here and there on the supports, but they'll push back VP. Were very close to catching GPK there. We saw the Stone Gaze be a bit of a nuisance for DM, stopping him from really being able to close in onto the range of the mortar, take GPK out, but of course, as it was, GPK able to get that waveform off in time to get back into the embrace of DM.
I don't think they're going to have any plans on leaving enemy side. And watch this engagement. Another really good hook from Aposhka, you can see. Tries to get the cogs, but he doesn't even have a shot. Looks like he got chain stunned down. But forces Morph into that bad position. But DM, that's what, the 5th, 6th time we've seen him hop in, be the getaway driver?
I mean, yeah, his riffs have been pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
He's either taken them out, of course, in that one situation, knowing to sort of cancel the ride and stick around.
That was
Very
actually
good read of
yeah,
Fox.
good point. That was a great play in retrospect. Like the fact that they won that fight, this is only cancel, has a really good eye on or a feel for the way these fights are going. Anytime it looks like the risk is going to outweigh the potential reward, just immediately whoop.
Absolutely. I don't think, I can't sort of remember the last time I've seen an Underlord just get it right every single time. We're never seeing him cast it unnecessarily. It's always absolutely when they need it or when he knows that there's a chance to turn around. He will put a stop to it. So some top stuff here from DM.
You don't see good cancels very often at all because it reveals that the team is like thinking about backing and they're like, no, we're gonna fight. That typically doesn't work out, but hang on.
Tokyo, he's getting jumped. He's just out of time in the ice blast, but it doesn't matter. The physical damage is there with the tree. Another time here where Toronto Tokyo getting jumped by Nightfall. Now with the zip over towards Collapse, waveform in. Collapse trying to run. They've got the control. Spirit, they've got to bail on him. They've got to leave Collapse behind. As we are absolutely seeing a Nightfall, he's absolutely doing his part. Every time, getting this jump onto the Invoker, just catching Toronto Tokyo by surprise multiple times here in this mid to late game.
Now as a leveler, he's gonna shred these buildings. No glyph.
Scanning quite aggressively here. Stone Gaze off. BKB as well, but he's rather low. Will be able to step out in time up the Ice Blast, but Nightfall, he's staying on top of him. Yatoro, he needs help, but he needs it now. He's out of mana, he's out of HP. That's Yatoro gone. VP, they've broken them down. As we're 4 dead, no buyback.
Okay.
They're going to call it. It's over. VP.
What?
Well, I mean, yeah, DM rightfully hyped up off the back of that performance. Very well played by in this game of the Underlord. The real sort of solid block that the team was able to execute around. And Spirit, they built things up. You know, Yatoro's Dusa in a great position, but the late game calls, they just broke them. Here, VP coming out with some fantastic moves.
You can see the laughter.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, did we just kill them all? Yeah, we did. All right, great job, guys. I guess that
Won in individual games.
Went back to Mars first pick, man. I just don't know about this.
Yeah. Mid.
I think the biggest thing about last game is that what Team Spirit did was their game plan was quite good. Like it looked hard to play against. Like if you were watching from VP's perspective, but that's something that will work against
Dark Willow. Oh, okay.
That's what will work against the rest of the Eastern European region. With all due respect to them, VP seems to just be on a whole nother level. They know you're going to do it. The second they see that clockwork, they know it's coming. And they had a perfectly designed counter strategy to say, okay, we're going to dodge until X moment in the game. We have a very distinct timing. We're going to hit it, and then we're going to kill you.
5 seconds
And
remaining.
I just, you can't be that predictable.
So do you have a problem
the
with the
draft against
strategy,
VP?
or do you have a problem with... Because like, I'm not sure what else they could have done
It's just too
drafting-wise to hide it.
It's just too simple. Like you
Okay,
can't just pull out some like textbook, like other teams have done this. We're just going to copy, paste it into our kit. You know, you can't do that against
Trying to play
VP.
Smash Mouth. They're trying to run it up the middle and just beat you. And
Yeah.
VP, they're too creative. They're going to find an opening. I think also this Mars, the reason I don't like it, you know, check out that last game. Sure. Before this huge deciding team fight, Deuce is like 5,000 gold ahead of the whole game, right? The trouble is your Mars is 4,000 gold behind the enemy Underlord and effectively just serves as a arena and a spear. That's it. That's your contribution to the team fight.
I think the pipe was wrong because not only does it slow down your game, but usually what Mars's job in the team fights when you have a hero like Dusa is that they go on your Dusa and you arena around her and then protect her with all that stuff. But they have Invoker, they have Clockwork, they have Shadow Demon to do all that. I actually think Mars had to play a bit more selfish in regards to he could be on the map feeding, I think, like while farming. Like he could be farming around the map, taking super dangerous farms, similar to how you saw Nightfall get caught out in the clip I showed. I think Mars could have been playing like that with a Blink and a Deso, and eventually he would have more net worth, and maybe the whole ball is 5 that got easily countered by VP wouldn't have been as straightforward. It's just, it's very predictable. You see the Mars with the pipe, you don't give a shit about him. You're like, yeah, he has a arena, but other than that, he's a non-factor. And it just doesn't feel good if you're the Medusa because you're getting all the focus put on you.
Yeah.
Or the Invoker, I guess you could
Kyle,
say.
you're having a good time with BSJ's, right?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, it's just like, God, he's just
Fired up.
I've heard these rants before. Typically, I'm like,
Coming out of your mouth.
we're,
Yeah.
well, no, not that. We're staying next to each other in the hotel, and I'll just like take my headset off for a second, and I'll just hear him streaming, just like, gosh, what is he doing? What's happening here? And I'm like, wow, Brian, he's been streaming for 14 hours. It's like,
Well, I mean, then you go...
he's getting aggressive.
And you go
Does not end.
Twitch.tv, Banana Slam Jamma, and you're like, wait a minute, he's not streaming at all.
No,
That's
he's just talking to himself.
he's just talking about himself.
Okay. I was like, what are you talking? Now I get it.
And another thing about this Medusa pick. No. All right, it's in
I
the
have to
name
practice somewhere.
Mirana for Mira, and very successful hero for Team Spirits. 9-1 so far in the last month. It's been one of their big heroes of this patch.
Already like it more. The SD did work, but I kind of agree with Brian. You had all these heroes kind of doing the same thing, whereas now you get a free smoke every 2 minutes thanks to the invis, and in addition, it's just a killer. Suddenly, a spear into an arrow, holy, we got a kill. We have something that can actually make things happen. Can be really annoying to play the lane as well as an Oracle. You're just going to get clicked with a Blightstone.
Well, okay, but what about the other side of things? A lot of kill potential, but all single target against an Oracle.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
I'd rather just
Kyle says
damage.
it's fine.
One step at a time.
Get some single target physical to follow it up that's not necessarily close range. I'd be down for like a drow here.
Radiant team ban.
Very good against Morph. Oh, they ban it. I
Get that
promise I
outta
didn't
here.
see that. I was not looking for the brief second I was talking.
He was looking.
It was, but there's a reason why I asked about it last draft, because Team Spirit did draft a Clockwork Drow
Thanks a lot.
recently.
You can't blind pick drow with the enemy carry not being seen as the problem. So like this game, the difference is they've already revealed the Morphling. Yeah, GPK played it last game, but it inevitably was the carry. It was it was a one position tiny from the safe lane, but it was actually a one position Morphling. And Drow matches up very nice against Morph. It's like if they had picked Clock Drow, they wouldn't have picked Morph last game for VP.
All right, how do you beat an Axe in this patch?
Witch Doctor was actually really bad against Morph, so maybe not. I think Warlock's good.
Yeah. Yule's heroes. Death Prophet always looks great in this sort of spot. I think it's just underutilized, but Spirit is a fourth pick. Would love it. Here you go for a 5. I agree. Warlock all day. It's annoying against the cleanse of the Oracle, but
I guess, yeah, the Warlock's tough because the Oracle. Okay. Maybe more like a defensive but kill-esque in lane 5, like a tree.
into Oracle,
Do you still
Same
purge
deal.
living armor?
yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
that ability's been changed a bunch. It's probably still dispellable.
If not, I think we'd see more tree, to be quite honest.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
dead.
probably because the Enchantress plus
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Oracle being so prevalent. You did say Death Prophet.
It's the pick, and now I was thinking about it, like, wait, you could just take it here, because there's a
Dire team's
flex to 5. That is a possibility.
service.
Now, is there any chance this is a GPK Wind Ranger?
Pretty high chance, I'd say. Oh, wait, no, it's save 0. Save 0 for sure, 100%.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
Wind Ranger Axe.
You can't,
Powerful lane.
you can't pick Wind Ranger mid, I don't think, against Mars.
10 seconds
I'm dead.
remaining.
Just the fact that he's in the game.
Situation out of no situation.
And I know he's been watching Crit, he's been watching Yapzor. Save considers himself on that same level. He wants to demonstrate his Wind Rangers up to snuff.
Team Spirit opting for the Wraith King.
Not the best in lane versus Axe. We saw it struggle early game, but it does do well once you are talking about the Blink Axe burst you down portion of the game. But they do have Morph Wind Ranger. Don't really mind
5 seconds
like chewing through
remaining.
that second life, especially if he goes for even just one damage item on the Wind Ranger. You focus fire, it remains on the Wraith King when he comes back.
He also struggles in lane against Wind Ranger, right? High amount of physical damage. Can't
Goes
actually go
Blightstone
on that
usually.
hero.
Yeah.
Radiant team
You're a
ban.
low armor strength hero.
So they are assuming it's the GPK Morphling again, banning out mana burners. I don't think you want to pick Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage Oracle Morphling sounds pretty
Dire
trash.
team's turn to ban.
Dude,
Trash.
Brian's just savage today. He's been hanging out with Shiva for too long.
Yeah, the Shiver,
She rubs off on you, man.
she's really nice on panel.
I know. Then the camera goes off, and suddenly it's like, oh my god. Just, oof.
Shiver is the most savage of all of us here.
Yeah.
Seconds remaining.
Let's see. VP, and we'll have overall last pick. So we're going to have to see if the Death Prophet is a 5 or a 2. I think knowing Toronto, Tokyo, that's just going mid.
Radiant team's
And-
turn to ban.
Maybe last pick something. You know what? Shadow Demon again wouldn't be terrible, I don't think. Even as a 5 in this game.
Dire team's turn.
I think you need a stronger laner.
True. That's a good point.
That's a bit of a concern for me.
Yeah, you have a Wraith King. It's a very good point.
What is there, though? We were talking about Witch Doctor being bad versus Morph, Warlock being bad versus Oracle.
You know what? Just I'd say just make it the Death Prophet, but I think it's just not something you can do here.
Oh, you're thinking of making the 5 Death Prophet?
Yeah, but then it's like, well, what
remaining.
pick mid? You don't see the matchup. GPK then gets a choice. Like, it has to be able to do well against a Morphling, because otherwise they just throw that against you. But
They do ban the Storm, which I think would have probably been the best pick.
yeah,
It's another hero that gets into the back line. Another spirit
I was
hero
about
like
to
Void
say,
Spirit,
yeah.
perhaps? Yeah.
I should
Not Ember, because that's a horrible matchup versus Morph. And I don't think Void Spirit's particularly good versus
No,
Morph.
I think this is a GPK mid Morph, 100%. That's a pretty nice matchup, if you ask me. And you see, okay, Mars, Mirana, what do I want to play safe lane with my Oracle?
I think you want Sustain. I think you want Jug. You want to serve, like, your game's all about the Morph again, but it gives you Roche. It gives you the ability to get poked down and not care about the Radiance. They just go for the Tiny again. I'm actually a huge fan of that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
Same
you
strat.
You just don't have the Morph enabler this game
Yeah,
in comparison. I guess he might morph into Wind Ranger potentially
I mean,
with the Nags, but
I'm going to go take a seat, but I think Virtus Pro demonstrating the confidence, a little bit of almost disrespect. You know, you aren't good enough to use more than one strategy. So we're just going to run it back. Good luck, have fun. I like it.
Fair enough. Nightfall going for his Tiny again. Is there a particular reason they keep on going for this Tiny versus off-lane Mars?
it's weird on paper. In game, it's nice because you're not a hero that's easily burstable with the physical.
Yeah.
But in lane, you have 0 armor. So I think it's more about not the Mars matchup, but it's like if we have a Morphling mid who's more of a carry-esque mid, what is the best semi-carry safe laner? And
Yeah.
they seem to be prioritizing Tiny. I think Team Spirit's chances are much better this game. That's really my analysis of this draft. I think
Why? Why
VP
is
the
that?
better team, but I think Team Spirit, like Wraith King, like Medusa was on his own carrying the game last game, but I think Wraith King's got all the tools to enable him, and I think his game's not nearly as hard. He doesn't have like the Underlord against him, and he doesn't have all this random crowd control that he's annoyed with. Very few stuffs coming out from VP in comparison, and I think Wraith King can take it.
Either way, we're going to see a more active game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
we are.
what we
Not
want to
Medusa.
hear. An active game in Eastern Europe. Virtus Pro versus Team Spirit. Game 2 continues with Odie Pixel and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Cap. Yes, the second game here between VP and Spirit, and a chance to see if your Spirit can sort of bring it together a little better than they were able to last game. A solid opening last time round. They play it slow around the Deucer. Doesn't pay off as VP are able to break it down later on. This time around, a little bit different, right? We're going to expect to see sort of a more sort of group effort rather than just everything on one hero here from Spirit. Whereas, yeah, as you picked up a bomb, VP, very much a similar way to go as they did in game 1 with their draft.
Indeed, and I think more importantly, Toronto Tokyo is on a signature. All right, Storm Spirit, Void Spirit. These are the heroes we have seen him pop off on. These are the heroes he's been playing as Team Spirit have gone on their great run. I'm glad that they've put him on a comfort, and I would have been fine seeing him on Death Prophet, but he's a killer. And that last game, really tough to watch as a fan of Team Spirit. Tedious, lack of playmaking. Maposhka as a 5 clock seemed like the only one capable of forcing aggression. And now, perhaps you're still outmatched in the late game, but you can make moves.
Now, for VP, even with the sort of the heroes that were changed up from what we had last game, did you? Like, how does this actually compare to what you saw from VP last time round? Like, is this an even better draft from them, or did you prefer game 1s?
Sorry, I got distracted by all the voice line spam. What was the question?
Game 1 versus game 2, which is the better sort of tiny morph draft around the time? Did you like this one more? Or?
I actually like the other one more.
Like
I think the Underlord and the Willow were a great combo. I'm not a huge fan of Oracle plus Morph. I get it, hard save. I just think it's better with more control and damage-based supports. You don't have a natural Ags partner as well. Like, the Willow was what made the Morph strongest hero in game, even an item behind Medusa. You don't have that option here.
We'll see how this mid matchup goes. I mean, what do you expect from this? Is it another one where the morph does come out on top, or?
Yeah, you have a pretty big base damage advantage. It should be better than the Invoker fared.
Sure.
I think Toronto Tokyo is also just a much better Void Spirit in the laning phase. And did Marana or Wind Ranger go for a Blightstone start? Oh, they didn't. Interesting. They're both going for the Wraith and the Null. Okay. Interesting. I really like Marana with the Blightstone, especially against the Tiny. Like we were talking about. It's a 0 armor hero. Surprised that they skip it. Oracle as well. I think 1 base armor. Yeah. Who knows? I like the Soul Ring build on Tiny too. This is kind of what makes them viable in the safe lane. Free armor. And just always nice to be able to have a combo threat.
Absolutely, yeah. If you see these two sort of getting aggressive and you know you are going to be able to turn even with the slight sacrifice of HP, definitely makes it a little bit harder for Spirit to seize an opportunity to try and get aggro on you.
And we'll see. I mean, so far, so good. I think we're probably going to expect pretty similar breakout. Wait, I say that. Hang on. Wow. I was about to say, I think we'll have a passive laning phase. Not much is going to happen, OD, but then easy first blood. Looked like a spear into an arrow combo. Not much an Oracle can do level 1. Or level 2, rather, to prevent. There's the 0 armor factor.
Yeah, this is when they've got to hit Nightfall hard. We see mid, as expected, keeping the lead here, GPK, but Toronto Tokyo not quite as far behind as he was when he played this matchup the last time around as the Invoker. Top lane, I mean, DM, the Axe this game, is he sort of on track to have another pretty good time? Is there much that's going to shake up the Axe's flow?
Oh.
They've got the damage here. The Battle of Hunger and a spin or two, they will. They don't even need a spin, just the right clicks alone. DM taking down Yatoro.
I saw a video, I can't remember his name, unfortunately. Someone in chat will give you guys the channel, but 10 spells you're not casting properly when you play Dota 2. A big one was Shackle. The closer you are to the target you target with Shackle Shot, the larger the radial cone is to acquire the target.
Yeah.
So good Wind Rangers, that's why you'll see it always with that point blank range. And really nice play there from Save, setting up a free kill. No point W, I like that a lot. The Battle Hunger actually providing more damage. The chase down effect, the auto attacks, it's more efficient than just not having stun. Shackle Shot, one of the better stuns in Dota. We're going to see it a lot as a 4. It's a 2-second level 1 stun for 70 mana. Like, that is a pretty insane. Yeah, like, that's good.
Yeah. And it can stun 2 people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the way I was playing with Fog the other day, he's so good. His shackles stun 3 people.
Damn. We'll see if Save's able to step up to that level. And so far, yeah, this top lane definitely putting some heavy pressure onto Yatoro.
And in mid lane, look at that. That's just GPK disgusting.
I mean, and the thing is about this matchup, I mean, I don't know if Toronto Tokyo is going to be able to recover as sort of, start to threaten the Morph as the levels come in as easy as he was able to on the Invoker. Sure, your abilities are nice on the Void Spirit, but against Morph, I don't think they hit quite as hard as when you get to like the Tornado EMP early on, in terms of just disrupting what the Morph's trying to do in the mid. It's bottom lane, collapse a mirror, another time, getting it onto Nightfall. So the way the things that lanes are going, Spirit definitely doing a good job of causing issues for Nightfall in this laning stage.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me. Like, this Axe and Morph, they're doing so well. They've been 36 creeps they've been able to kill so far this game. They're sitting at 29 and 28. That is pretty nuts. And this is the lasting legacy, I'd say, from VP. Ever since that change to denies in that they provided less XP to enemies, that was really the catalyst for that original VP roster to start dominating people. And ever since then, no matter who's playing on this team, they always seem to crush their lanes. And right now, a couple deaths on Tiny, sure, but they're ahead in CS in all 3. And that Vanguard Axe, like, he's going to force the Wraith King to jungle real quick. That is that's an incredibly fast timing. Vit booster in just 200 gold.
Yeah, this lane is definitely going to become pretty unplayable soon for Spirit. So, each and every time Yatoro just taking so much damage here from the hunger and just the slow, drawn-out harassment here from Save.
Death Prophet 5 not seeming nearly strong enough against enemy Wind Ranger. And looks like Toronto Tokyo in the jungle. Will he get the rune? The 50-50 in 3, 2, 1. Regen. Not bad. Could even up his lane.
He bottom. Don't have another guard to
Nice
Nightfall.
toss.
And he's able to make sure that Collapse doesn't have an opportunity to lay that spear down on him. Time around, Nightfall able to live.
You 13 mana boy. I'm
Did
dead.
he re-record that, you think, or they just take it from the old video?
Oh, there's a re-record, right, from one of the players. Miposhka. I mean, not a lot you can do against this as a DP. Get the Siphon off. Still with the Battle Hunger ticking him down. He's going to have to go through both of the charges here to keep himself alive.
Vanguard Dota.
Now the TP in Toronto Tokyo, he's going to look to try and punish DM for this. DM.
There's no point in running it.
Shackle. We'll stop the crit coming in from the Wraith King. He's got enough burst. Ooh, great fire blast in DM.
Vanguard.
The Vanguard. And the Crypts one will get him. Miposhka having that final bit of magical damage to push DM over the edge, but my goodness, it took everything.
Yeah. It's crazy. Miposhka actually healed all up to full because he's draining so much HP from an axe with near 1200 HP. Tough to dive. Surprised they went for it, but even with the death, somewhat worth because you forced Void Spirit away for so long. Look at how it affected Toronto Tokyo's net worth. It's the thing about getting kills nowadays. If they take you too long, you, especially as a mid, you would have preferred creep waves. Let's see.
Starting to scout out around these 8-minute runes coming up. Save and Miposhka making the move over. See in the mid. Yeah, GPK still just having the better time, maximizing what he's getting out of this early game. Toronto. He's going to be at the top, and Toronto's got to get out. He'll be fine. Of course, once this move's been making around mid, that leaves Nightfall open to be jumped upon by the two of them. And we Collapse and Mirror. This is what sort of the third time they've taken down Nightfall in this bottom lane. And Nightfall having a much more punished beginning to this one. Farm's still not looking too bad for him, but seeing a lot of sort of XP and gold being picked up by this Mars. A much stronger start to the game. Collapse is going to have this time around.
I like that he's also recognized, you know what, I want to do stuff. No more of this pipe rush. I'm going to deal damage. Phase boots, bracer, grab the soul ring for the farming speed. He had blink queued up. I'd love to see him just go for it. Just kill things.
I think he will after this.
Going in again.
This time Save's here to help out. Comes in with a shackle. They try and turn the burst onto Collapse. If they got enough, they do. Kingslayer gets the combo in. Takes out Collapse.
And no dust. They didn't want to blow a sentry. Didn't have the spells up. And ultimately, not worth the resources for the support. So DM, Vanguard Dota gonna outfarm the Wraith King by cutting waves, farming easy camp. Broom handle to boot. Says hello, Yutoro.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm gonna go straight for the Radiance this game. No Armlet, no Midas. Looking
Bold.
for that complete rush, which is, I think, sort of out of the three combos, probably the thing we see the least right now. Pretty much most of the time, it's going to be the Armlet or Midas in the build-up. See if he still commits for the naked Radiance. Save on Mirror, but leaps are already, and VP just continue to be onto this tier 1 tower mid. And 10 minutes in, getting a lot of damage done here in the mid lane. Spirit are around. VP no signs of backing off. GPK still feeling confident. Actually get the shackle set up onto Toronto Tokyo, but no further follow-up. So back off for now, but this tier 1 on the edge of being taken out.
Good information. They felt the presence of the Mars creeping in from bottom lane. He went missing. They had a nice ward on him to scout his rotation through the river. And now the old switcheroo, as we've come to expect, somewhere around the 10-minute mark. Enemy carry TPs to offlane. Does not want to play against an axe anymore, and VP say, oh, well, is it that time? Okay, we'll do this dance, and they go top to most likely trade safe lane towers. Pretty peaceful game, kind of as expected. 2 to 4, 11 minutes.
Similar to sort of the frequency of kills we had last game. I think if anything, even lower this time round.
DPK gotta be cautious. Leonidas waits.
Oh, they got the spin. They got enough burst to take him out in time, they do. Straight in onto GPK. Fantastic spear from Collapse, coming from the trees, sets up for the kill. Now with the Exorcism, and Poshka, he's hit 6, he's ready to go for more. They've got the arena down, they've trapped Nightfall. Kingslayer does have a false promise to offer up, but this is going to be so much overbearing damage onto Nightfall that he's very likely to fall. And he does. A false promise and heals, not enough to outdo that. That's been done by Spirit. Spirit, not only just a tier 1 in the mid, but the two biggest kills they could hope for, both GPK and Nightfall.
Yeah, DM playing like a real carry. He was the one that actually came bot, shoved that lane. Now doing the walk. You saw him circle enemy jungle. That's where he's going to want to play. He's very close to the Blink Dagger. And then it gets a lot easier for this VP lineup to get things done. Nightfall's game pretty lost, but he'll have a blink at some point, but behind his axe. That's going to be the true timing. Suddenly, these playmakers will actually be able to do just that. Wow, an E-Blade rush for GPK this time. I guess just to blow up the support duo.
Yeah.
They don't have hard save. The benefit of an Oracle, too. It's a lot of burst damage you could add. Same with the Tiny, of course.
Can be nice as well to protect those that are caught underneath the reach of the Wraith King. This is Toro. Get in that space. Bottom tower taken. Going to be on track to rush these big items this game with the areas that he's found. Collapse. Offering around GPK. And I've got Toronto Tokyo coming over as well. GPK. The spear. They've caught him out before the shift starts, and they've got the burst. Another time here where Collapse's spear has been the death of GPK.
I'm dead.
He is having a much better game, a high impact this time around for Collapse.
Yeah, it's killing items. I'm telling you, if he's feeling himself now. This is the way he's meant to play. Good initiation. They have dust.
Sentry's down. The dunk, and we'll manage to punish Collapse, and a good time to do, as we see, trying to get the build up on the Blink Dagger. Had about 1,700 gold, so able to post that a little bit with moves like this. VP definitely wanted to be a little more careful.
Oh wow! Hold up, that was a bots. That's a bots on the Void Spirit.
No, I like it.
Wow.
Right? This is one of those mids where the bots rush. It can work. You know, it's like your pucks, right? A hero that it's all in the abilities. You need the abilities, bots. It's going to maximize your ability to just get involved. You don't have to have that item to buff up your offensive or defensive potential.
Uh-oh.
Mass TP's coming in. They can't afford for Nightfall to go down again. Arrow does catch him. DM coming in with a call on to Mirror at the side. Mirror with a few leaps left ready, but GPK turning into the Mirana himself. Using the leaps against him. Will manage to continue to chase, closing upon him. Get the kill. Mirror will fall. Of course, they didn't have enough damage to take down Nightfall. Now DM, another catch. He's onto the Prophet, and the two back-to-back plays there. DM setting up for the action. A pretty much ideal Blink Dagger showing that.
This is how VP are meant to play it. Now with the double blink, they can actually get aggressive on map. Wraith King survives. No risk. He's closing in on the Radiance. And that'll certainly accelerate his farming speed. You know, they're going greedy on Team Spirit. They don't really fear going late this time.
Yeah. Do you think that's the correct call this game? Did you look at this and feel that they will have some superiority in the later stages?
Oh, they got to kill Oracle, but that's a lot easier with the Void Spirit. So I think that they're certainly going to be in better shape. Is there a blink on Collapse? What did he end up going for?
He was saving up for it, so I don't think he's quite got them. Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay,
he just had enough.
So you've had this big initiation advantage on the side of VP. It's why they've picked up the last 3 kills on map. But now, Equalizer, Arena, Spear combo, you're going to pick off pretty much anybody. So be very careful, GPK.
Oh, they've caught him 2 times in a row. Can they get him a third? So he's already backing off and does have save by his side. Save's going to actually head in. Smoke will be dispelled on Toronto Tokyo, so a little harder now for Spirit to get the jump. Still in the shadows, though. Toronto Tokyo to show mid.
They want him.
Yeah.
Oh! Fast fingers.
Actually, they're going to make the aggression play onto Dio. Save. The Shaka will disrupt the setup from Collapse, but Collapse actually still able to find it. The Arena enough to catch DM as DM tries to step away. They get the kill done.
Now, Oracle, 2 seconds on the ultimate. Wouldn't have been in range to save him anyway. But just kind of reminiscent of the last game. Both teams just playing conservatively. Playing as 5. This time, Team Spirit, I think, in a much more comfortable position.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And firmly in control of both positions on top of the net worth chart. And it's going to, like, this Void Spirit build is going to pay dividends because you're just going to cut these waves. Bottom in the tier 2, so now you go cover top. He's going to be very farmed. Top net worth. And the Kaya next is, like, this is pretty much just the ideal, even with the farming skill build. So this will be a very fat Void Spirit. And it's going to be an incredibly difficult game for Kingslayer specifically. Him and Save. Can't really afford to itemize defensively here. There's items you must get. You're going to save your team. You want that Javelin to Maelstrom Rush on the Wind Ranger, but you're very susceptible to just being killed off any jump.
What a bounty!
Yeah, it's going to be all on VP's cause to capitalize on any moves the Spirit make onto the supports.
I don't know about this E-Blade, man.
Well, you feel that... Well, you just don't like the sort of the burst of the morph this game. You'd rather see him go sort of the same build as last time round, just the sort of Manta Skadi right-click build-up.
I don't mind E-Blade, but I think rushing it is tough nowadays. Like, it's not an item that's just going to straight up win you the game, right? And it's a lot of gold to carry before you're able to actually spend it. That's my concern with it, is that for the last 6 or 7 minutes, he's had 0 gold, improving his farming speed, his gameplay. Now it's like, okay, we've got E-Blade, let's make it happen. That's why TP is based. They're gonna smoke. They're gonna push wave and go for it right now.
I mean, they have got a lot of burst. They get him with the E-Blade combo and the follow-up at the time. It's gonna be a kill pretty much on anyone on Spirit side. Yeah. You get the catch on your Toro with the burst. That's going to be your Turo down the once, but the arena's out. They'll turn their efforts onto DM. False Promise going to be used here to keep DM alive. And Posture is in onto Sleep. Kingslayer trying for the TP out, but Toronto Tokyo's in with the grab. Remnant down. They'll be able to take out the 2 of them. Nothing of any value lost here from Spirit, just a reincarnation, but they don't care. 2 heroes out on VP. Spirit can now head into the pit.
Baited. Straight up baited. Well played, Spirit. You kill the hero with the built-in Aegis, and then the rest of the team is like, oh, okay, well, just pop our ults then, thank you very much. Procced an AoE slow on our entire team. Forced the buyback. Now you can't Roche, but you'll take that as Spirit. Your late game is secured so long as you don't get owned in some huge engagement. With no ults up, relax. Everything is chill.
Absolutely, we're seeing it in the gold of Toronto, Tokyo, and Utoro staying a fair bit ahead now of the mid and the carry of VP. A big lead being grown. VP can't afford any more moves like that. Otherwise, they're really going to feel it in the net worth. And we're seeing, you know, even with the way the last things are going, they're keeping their foot on the pedal. Immediate smoke up once again from VP.
But this is such a tough smoke. They're going to get vision up, I believe, which is nice. But yeah, you can't hunt the Void Spirit. Toronto Tokyo playing real well, just sort of hiding, shoving side lanes, playing trees. This ward is quite nice, but you need more than that as VP. You'd love a kill into a sneaky Roche, so it would take you some time. Like it to scout it, all right.
Both teams just playing ever so careful once again, as we saw last game. Neither team wanting to take the wrong step forward.
They got really good vision on Spirit.
Look at the jump collapse. It's going to start things. They've caught the 2 supports. DM's going to try and cover the counter play. Toronto Tokyo is already over towards the backlines. Takes out save. They get the Remnant pull back on VP. A 2 dead. Both supports gone on VP. The core's now left alone. GPK surrounded it. Avalanche down on Toronto Tokyo and collapse. Again, using the Void Spirit form to try and jump away to safety, but they're in with the stun. GPK is caught. Spirit again, taking the team fight.
VP just caught napping, man. This gold advantage is getting pretty formidable. They're playing on top of wards. You smoke bot, you place ward, you sentry, but then you walk into Spirit's area of the map. They've controlled your triangle, and this is just so simple for them. Kingslayer is leading the charge. That's never going to work out for you. He's forced to blow his ultimate early onto the axe just as some sort of, you know, just before he dies. GPK, he'll try to get away, but nice catch there. Easy Remnant. He dies too.
Yeah, I mean, that was close to also losing DM. DM able to TP out as they didn't have any disable available. And another fight where they're having to bail on some of these bad moves. And maybe sort of one of these scenarios where we're seeing sort of the fact that, you know, VP last game, how important that Underlord was. You know, last time round, DM, he's TPing out on his own. Last game, he was able to take the squad out when things started to look bad. They don't have that luxury this time round.
Third smoke. This is the trademark VP do something smoke. But thus far, it's backfired each time. So find a support. That you need to kill a backline. Void Spirit or support. Cannot initiate on Wraith King. Cannot initiate on Mars.
I mean, if this goes horribly, they might call it early. See what they can achieve here, VP. The arena's down though, TM and Nightfall have been caught. Nightfall caught out by the spear. They're getting forced apart here. Nightfall is taking heavy damage here. He's run down by Yatoro and Mirror. Nightfall will go down. They've lost the Tiny. The rest of VP, they've got a bail. DM will manage to break away, but safe. It's been grabbed by the Remnant. Toronto Tokyo has the control. Ray Fire Blast comes in as Sable fall to the pulse. Kingslayer also taken out. Another failed smoke attempt here from VP. As DM, he's being watched here by Collapse. He's Collapse. Oh, he's got him! Able to find him in the trees, put a stop to the TP out. Toronto Tokyo with the bots ready to join forces with him, and they'll take down 4. This game now very tough for VP off the back of 3 bad smokes in a row.
They feel pressure to get something done. The late game isn't in their control. As for fights, you know, blink E-Blade. If you can't kill stuff, there really isn't much the draft's going to be able to do for you, and thus far, Spirit has had VP's number.
There's some very nice moves from Spirit, showing that they are prepared for this aggression every single time.
Maybe not this time.
The Siphon here nearly kind of doing it. Was able to get that off very quickly. Look at this from Spirit. As soon as VP show their faces on the map, Spirit straight towards them. Toronto Tokyo closing in onto Nightfall. As Nightfall. A little too much rotation there from Collapse with the spear. The arrow though does connect
from downtown.
They didn't believe, they weren't moving in with it. So Nightfall lucky to get away there. Collapse, he could have had that for sure. I guess the God's Rebuke maybe not available. Could have laid that down straight away, but the hesitation will allow Nightfall to get away with his life intact this time.
I'm trying to think, how do you get back into this if you're VP? Like, you got to capitalize on a mistake, I think. If Spirit just continue to ball up, play as 5, they're just too strong. Like, Yatoro, this man, 2000 HP, status resist, a Radiance, 2 lives. Void Spirit enormous, now with an Ags soon to be completed.
Having a great game at Toronto. I mean, you said it, one of his signatures, 606. Absolutely no mistakes made by him so far this game. Pretty insane there as well. You know, the most damage being done by Mirror this game on his Mirana.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, the Spirit Vessel, I think, might have a little bit to do with that. But definitely an underrated 4 position, it feels like, from what we've seen so far in both halves of the European DPC.
I mean, can VP just... They can't play the farm game? They have to... They have to fight?
You can try to play... At this point, fighting is a no-go. It's just not going to work out for you running into Team Spirit. You're going to have to try and stall it out. Take an advantageous team fight. Really, you need Spirit to make a mistake. Right now, Spirit are one huge gamble ahead. So just chill. You can take a little loss here and there. Maybe somebody gets picked off, no big deal. You're playing for the next stages. Well, the first stages, right? Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't actually
they didn't finish it off. They didn't finish it off the first time, yeah. It's still there.
Well, they're waiting for the Ags. Yep. Now they smoke up Ags on Yatoro. Here it comes. Or Toronto.
Yeah, big timing.
Now we go. I like it. Collapse should have his BKB. There it is. That's a... I mean, talk about a timing. There you go.
Yeah, this sort of BKB, Mars, Ags, Void Spirit, this is going to be a nightmare to fight into for VP. They don't have the BKBs yet on their cores. You know, GPK, Nightfall are going to be massively vulnerable to this sort of move. There he is, bottom. They got him. I mean, he's got nothing to protect himself, as I say. He's just a few hundred gold away from the BKB. Spirit just finding the perfect time to strike. And up top, Nightfall, he's got Blink up. He's out. And he is away. Nothing else to catch him there. Nightfall will manage to escape. But GPK yet again, I mean, they're just catching him so many times here. Spirit, you know, they might not have been prepared to fully punish him last game, but this time round, they're really slowing down GPK's game.
Oh, yeah. And I really point once again to the way VP thought they could play it. The way they itemized was that, oh, we're going to be ahead. We're going to hunt these guys all over the map. No stat items, no strength to speak of on the morph.
And sort of
first 20 minutes.
Compared to last, what do you think it is that they're missing the most this time around with their draft VP compared to last game?
I think the bottom lane going so much worse certainly hurt them. Instead of being the pacemaker, Nightfall sort of just fell off, felt somewhat useless, really. No one able to make plays. Basher on Yatoro, and they are feeling themselves on Spirit. Like, at this point, you're just cruising. And notice how that smoke succeeds. They had a huge item spike. VP's 3 smokes were kind of just like, hey, we got to get something done.
Take us. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now the wraparound invis, the free smoke.
Structures are fortified.
Still holding on to the tier 1 tower down in this bottom lane. Toronto Tokyo is going to start things a little slow with the Remnant.
Double.
Won't catch save. Maybe with just the damage from the astral steps of the Defibrillate alone, they do. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Remnant misses. It doesn't matter. Toronto Tokyo having more than enough damage here with the resonant pulses and chase down.
Surprised, you know, that was a potential fight for VP to turn it around, but they'd already ditched. Great warding from Spirit. They have so much information. High ground ward, yeah, we scouted out right there. Another one in this top lane. So easy to control map. Whenever you see Radiant heroes underneath, gameplay becomes just incredibly easy. They're going to find Mira.
Oh!
Or will they?
They will not. Mira! He's more than fine. In fact, he's got a lot of backup coming in. The arena's down. They've caught GPK and DM. False promise will allow GPK to break away. But DM left behind, surrounded by Team Spirit. Is relatively tanky, but probably not taking enough. Nightfall's also been caught off to the side by Toronto Tokyo. Arrows in. DM still alive, and Maposhka got enough. No, the pipe will come out. DM does live, but we saw over towards the mid-boss. That chase was happening. Nightfall gets caught by the tower. Yet again, Toronto Tokyo able to just dive in. And with the false promise already used in that earlier attempt to get GPK out that does succeed, there's nothing left to protect the carry.
And now the pause. If I'm in the booth, I'd probably say something along the lines of, guys, we've won the game.
Thanks, guys.
Just chill. No more fights. If we're not 5, we see the solo kill, Ags reveal, just insane burst damage.
Thanks a lot.
I like what I see.
That feels so good. I mean, this is Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah.
This is what he should be playing. No, none of this Invoker. No offense. Not a bad player, but any hero buying a Midas, probably not suited for the young, soon-to-be superstar.
So, up these BKBs here, VP. They cannot do anything, really, against the jump of this Void Spirit now. As here we have it.
Let's get on.
Back in action. 15k lead here for Team Spirit. Having a completely solid hold of this game, too. It's not looking to get any easier for VP. They don't have any sort of crazy core hero that's going to step up to new levels as the game goes on. You know, one of the downsides of having this carry, Tiny, that we're seeing from Nightfall, he's died quite a bit this game, right? Yep, 0, 6, and 4. It's not been an easy one at all here for the carry, Tiny, in game 2.
That is a rough comparison.
Deserves just as much help as bottom. Vent.
It's
Still a recipe away from his BKB.
Radiant's top tower.
Bottom, DM, he's not getting out. Yatoro's in with a stun. I just take him whatever they want here, Team Spirit. Let's see collapse. By the looks of it, trying to get the catch onto one of the other two supports this time. Out just in time.
It's just so easy for them to play the game now. So long as they play together, VP can't take a team fight, so they're gonna lose somebody. Top.
Nightfall.
Cane Rune.
He's still got his BKB. He's still trying to get it done in with it. The recipe, the arrow hits. He's helping, he will get it. GPK is here, so Toronto Tokyo backing off momentarily, but he's actually able to get back in. The Remnant and the Dissimulate. Nightfall is going to be protected. This time around, VP able to not lose their carry, and they will get the kill onto Toronto.
That was pretty sick, actually. That was a really nice shackle from Save. It might be their answer, you know, just a couple of two-man shackles. But you saw, like, they needed so much damage just to take out a Void Spirit totally by himself.
She collapse. Arena back up in a second. They might hold back though whilst Toronto Tokyo's down.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
VP, what seems to have been the longest of times this game, finally able to find some sort of a trade that does benefit them. Maybe the BKBs will make enough of a difference.
I'm gonna find out.
There we have it. Nightfall, GPK.
Oh my God,
BKB's ready for the
collapse.
next fight. Collapse is already in. DMS is going to come over the counterplay. Looks to control him with the call. Won't have enough damage on their own with the burster to really threaten Collapse.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
They'll play it cool here, VP. They'll hold back.
Yeah, oh man. Oh man, back inside the base. Button up the hatches. Void Spirit's about to be alive. The bot's threat means that the moment he spawns, he could be anywhere, which means Spirit are 5. And VP, no chance to survive if they were to meet them on the field of combat.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Roshan spawning
Radiant's top tower
soon?
has fallen.
No, not even close to soon. 3 minutes is the minimum. I expect Spirit to bide their time until it's up. Free shards, always nice. And AC, Yatoro just way too much gold. He's like running out of items to buy at this point.
I mean, if VP do manage to make a comeback here, definitely one of, if not the biggest one we've seen in quite some time here in this league, in this division. Down 17k here rather early on, 32 minutes in. Team Spirit looking to have complete control. How much farm and XP, you know, Toro, he's pretty much got all the items. It's getting very close to the point that 1 foot placed in the wrong place from VP could lead to an immediate end of the game.
VP, you don't see this very often, but they're just 5 men in their base. The bounty rune disparity, that's nuts. It's a huge edge Spirit's way. It's just, again, a very chill, very passive game. I like Spirit though. Like they've allowed them to. Oh, hang on.
Collapse. It's going to get a good start to the fight here. Gets the jump on Kingslayer. There's both supports. Easy pickings here for Spirit each time. Not a lot the VP can do to save one another. Now Nightfall. They have to come over the buybacks. They've got to protect their carry. Nightfall will manage to get the BKB off. Can he actually do anything aggressive with it? He can't. Limits out to Collapse. Collapses away. Both supports buying back there because of the threat of losing their Tiny.
Thanks, guys.
And nothing to be found other than just making sure that Spirit didn't dive any further in as they push themselves further behind here in the net.
Feels like VP, they're playing for imaginary reinforcements to come in. DM, not even there. He was shoving out bottom, cut the wave to ensure the push couldn't come in from Spirit, but then they double buyback, and you're like, wait, well, what was that for? Spirit just like, oh, well, all right then, and we'll back off. The gold lead now more than 20,000, so continuing to grow.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, and this is, you know, coming into this series, sure, game 1 was a little shaky from Spirit, but from what we've seen, there was always the chance that Spirit would have this sort of performance in them against VP. As this is one of the bigger beatdowns that VP's had in quite a while. As they're just getting bullied all over the place. It's just completely falling apart. And 21k lead at 34 minutes in. it's just not a position that VP are very familiar
No.
with finding themselves in.
They're Dota players. They're not used to having to play hide and seek, especially as the hiders. And right now, their only sanctuary is within the confines of their base. Spirit as well, bear in mind, they've got a lot more to play for here. VP effectively guaranteed to qualify for TI on points alone, whether they're first or second, doesn't matter. Spirit, if you get first place,
Yeah,
that's a huge deal.
it's massive.
Suddenly, you have a pretty damn good chance of going to TI on points, regardless of how you play at the major.
I think
And a lot of
yeah.
teams are going to be needing wins, so quite possibly will be the most competitive major we have seen in some time. At least 6 or 7 teams will need results to get those points to cross the thresholds into the top 12. Guaranteed to come back here to Stockholm early August. $40 million. No big deal.
Well, here we go. VP with another smoke. If this one goes badly, though, you might see the G's getting dropped. As a lost fight here will be a guaranteed Roshan and its benefits to Team Spirit. Can VP disrupt this in time? They can't. Roshan has gone. They're going to still try to make jump. They're in onto Mirror. Mirror will get burst. DM getting the call off now with the arena down. Collapsing straight over the back lines. Focusing Kingslayer. GPK is trying to bring down Yatoro the once. He'll be able to do so. Reincarnate popped. GPK is into the pit. Waveform up in a few seconds. The silence. He's going to be able to get out of this. The arrow connects. They've caught it. They're in onto GPK. GPK goes down. VP unable to make the move into the Roshan time, as they'll once again lose Kingslayer and GPK. Team Spirit now 25k ahead and in fantastic position and form to start pushing towards the high ground now.
No situation.
I just don't see how VP get into this, Owen. It's not like they've been, well, I would say they haven't been playing poorly, but they haven't really been playing Dota for 15 minutes. Just trying their best to hold on. Spirit finally have enough of an item advantage. They're just walking into the base. There's the move shard for Kingslayer, for Nightfall. Why do I keep calling him Kingslayer?
Oh, save. With the jump save, trying to get out to the side. They've got the control onto DM. DM needs help and he needs it now. GPK having to use the buyback. Trying to save his axe here as DM. He'll still go down. Nightfall's in with the combo on Collapse, but the BKB's popped by Collapse. Another attempt for DM to come in with the call, but Nightfall getting fully focused. Pots the BKB. It won't save him. Nightfall's gone. 2 heroes on VP down without buyback. As DM is jumped. GPK returning to the Void Spirit. He's able to assimilate, but with 3 dead, they'll call it GG from VP as this game 2's Team Spirit. They hit back, as I said, with the sort of the most roster against VP. VP, they've been used to sort of waltzing through the league, getting the easy wins, but this game 2, Team Spirit really putting them in their place.
Yeah, they smashed them. Like, that wasn't close. That was utter domination. 20 straight minutes of Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the game felt like if VP were maybe in a different mood, they would have GG'd out 20 minutes previous because it felt hopeless the whole time.
Yeah.
They got the heroes they wanted, obviously 2 games in a row, but this time, Spirit, they actually have aggression. They get kills. They have stuns, and it's glorious. No more Medusa. Slay.
Yeah, and from VP,
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Thanks.
Who's going to be taking first place? Into the playoffs of the next major. I've got BSJ as well as Kyle joining me on the panel for one final game. Team Spirit showed that they can actually take it. It wasn't like last season. Last season, Team Spirit kind of surprised Virtus Pro. Gotcha. Game one goes super long, 66 minutes. Team Spirit barely pull it out. This is a very dominant performance after they got shellacked in game one.
I'm going to be honest. If we get a game where VP plays like they did game one and drafts like they did game one, and Team Spirit plays and drafts like they did game two, this is going to be an exciting game three. Any other variation going to be not so action-packed again.
It has been a bit of a snooze fest, yes. It hasn't been the most exciting thing that Kyle was hoping for when it comes to the two best teams in a region playing against each other.
We still got a third game, though. This is where they're going to ramp it up. They've been just...
It might as well be a BO1, really, the way that these games have played out. It's just hard to watch, really.
These have been the filler episodes, you know? We're ready for the grand finale.
This is the final boss. This is the grand climax of a boss battle. And it all starts with a draft that is... We gonna give them Mars again? We are. I mean, Collapse really turned up in that last game. He had some pretty sick surprise spears.
As my favorite opening, Liquid patented it. Maglina. What do you pick?
I don't know. The Spirit are just like, yes, Mars, again, do it. Likely,
10 seconds
I hope,
remaining.
for Collapse, because his Mars, certainly strong stuff, but no more Hood. Aggression.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to go the Marana again. I think
agree.
the Shadow Demon in game is nice against the Mag, but you just saw the laning prowess that the Marana had. It was against the same safe laner, both games, and the Tiny looked a lot better against the Shadow Demon than it did against the Marana. I think that's...
You hate it, though, when teams draft the exact same thing that they just kind of...
Yeah, absolutely hate it.
It's a little different when it's just a strong lane. Like, it's similar to the Lion Timber, Lion Centaur of VP.
Okay.
It's that lane combo can be then put into any kind of draft. It's solid enough, and I just think that Marana from Mira, he had top damage dealt until like 30 minutes into the game.
They're really discussing this pickup right now. They're going deep into their reserve time. Is it going to be Marana? Is it going to be Snapfire? Is it going to be Shadow Demon? I mean, is there anything about Lena plus Mag? You know there's going to be a Mag partner here. Is there anything about that says maybe a different 4 position would be good? I mean, Shadow Demon is good because he purges the carry that has some power on it, right?
Yeah. Always been all right with things like Wyvern.
I like the Warlock pick. If I was thinking if they had to pick a 5, it had to be a healer, because this is such a strong lane that you really can't sustain through it ever. Witch Doctor, Warlock, Oracle. Oracle's not really a heal early on. Enchantress is already banned out. And because Witch Doctor is kind of mediocre in team fights here, Warlock synergizes a lot better as the counter initiation on the RP.
Exactly. And it doesn't even matter if the carry is a BKB. No, it's a hard combo break. In addition, way more damage. I actually like this hero a lot more than Oracle most of the time, unless you have a real game-winning combination, because you just do more in lane, you more sustain, fatal bonds are broken.
Oracle enables one guy to carry you. Warlock prevents the opponent from hitting what they want to hit. And a Mag with the RP, something like a single target save just doesn't make sense. And Oracle has to be paired with the right heroes. You know, we see Liquid, I mentioned them again, just because they utilize this hero so much with the Leshrac. You know, it's a specific hero. Last game, it's like you save the Axe, you save the Morph, you save the Tiny. None of these heroes take that second chance and turn it into something, as opposed to a hero like the Lesh or the Gyrocopter that's just going to dump out some damage. So Warlock, there is a lot of synergies with it when it comes to the carry role. I've been a big fan of Gyrocopter. I mentioned it, but any spread damage. I don't like Spectre. I think it's too passive against the Mag. You can pick a decent carry to carry matchup, and then the hero that's against the Spectre will just have a free Battle Fury.
Especially VP can almost see the PA or the troll in your mind's eye.
They've already banned the PA. Have to consider banning the Faceless Void, I think, too.
Think the power's just too strong for
The
that
power
hero.
on
It seems
Faceless
like-
Void just makes him so much easier to play. You just go Mask of Madness, S and Y, and you're super tanky, and you farm really fast. You're farming Ancients at like 13 minutes into the game.
I mean, we've seen Faceless Void do very well with certain steroids, and they could still potentially get, like, say, a GPK Invoker to add on top of that,
10 seconds remaining.
So I could see where you're going, but instead, Team Spirit are going to ban away the Juggernaut.
Well, just,
Strong focus on lanes.
I think that's been the story of this series so far. The big difference, Nightfall's performance is just that instead of getting kills in lane, he ended up dying 3 times. His blink's delayed by 5 minutes, and Tiny really doesn't feel great if you don't consistently farm that keeps you on pace to always be able to find solo kills. You know, he was hunting a mid invoker for most of that first game. Last time, he barely was able to do half damage to an offlaner. But critical third pick upcoming. What will you reveal as Virtus Pro? And will this be a GPK Magnus? You know, we've seen this in SEA as well as a carry mag.
I think Magdalena's too strong is the problem. I don't think you need to rotate it out of the offlaner. The shockwave slow and relocation in the lane is so troublesome for almost every carry in the game, and we'll set up the light strike array because of the newly buffed AoE on it. It's just reliable enough to make it work, and Lena's so potent at like shockwave plus Lena stun. Already that's like 200 damage, ignoring all the right clicks that are getting dished out that are buffed up by the Empower, the Lena Fiery Soul. I'm telling you, it's a terrifying dual lane. I'm surprised more and more teams are not even doing this opening, because not only is it a dual lane that you don't want to pick a carry into, you're going to have a rough lane, but you also know the opponent carry is going to get a free Battle Fury. So as a carry player, it just feels like crap.
Toronto Tokyo is talking a lot right now in the draft. Do you think they're discussing whether or not they want the Mars to shift over so they could get a different offlaner? Do you think they're trying to pick his mid lane right now?
I like Slardar a lot here.
Yep.
Okay. I think Slardar against Void's one of the best one-to-one matchups, and it ramps up the tempo. And since the opponent team has a free Battle Fury, I think you have to make it so that's something that tilts the carry matchup in your favor to make you feel more comfortable.
Man,
We're just going to keep at it.
I want
reason not
Slardar
to.
4th pick for Team Spirit. We'll see if they go for it. Even the playing field on the carry front. This is such a good Slardar game.
it's also really good Spectre game.
And
I know
I
it's
literally
slow.
said it's terrible.
I know you said it.
You're going against me here, man.
I want to point out Virtus Pro is really putting the pressure on Team Spirit right now. 11 seconds left in reserve time. They just snap pick up that Crystal Maiden.
Let's just go for the Slardar Gyro.
You are correct though. Like that top lane now with CM Aura, Lena, Mag, you're just gonna spam spells. It's a miserable existence for whatever you put up there. And ugh.
Combo breaker in fights, but man, you could have just picked freaking Slardar and dumpstered that Void in lane, man.
Warlock Tide, you decide to go and double down on slow, long cooldown,
Dude,
big teamfight ultimates.
This is exactly why you lost game 1, Team Spirit. They're just gonna ignore you and farm with a Faceless Void empowered, man. Now they're just gonna pick some mobile mid laner for GPK. They're gonna play the whole dodge game again. Ideally, you want that hero to have a little bit of tower pressure, because you saw what the Morphling did in game 1, where you are avoiding fights, but you have to be able to threaten something on the map to make the opponent respond to you. I hate this Tide pick.
And it's just so frustrating
It's
because
Void,
Collapse is so good on Mars. All the spirits still available for Team Spirit. And they're forced now to ban, like you pick the offlaner, they're banning Monkey King and Viper. I guess those are potential heroes. Like it's just odd. I guess they're protecting their Mars mid, but they just said, okay, it is Mars mid.
This is
It's
a
tied off lane.
sick Ember game. GPK Ember.
Oh yeah, it's a good point.
All the magic immune carries are gone. They have no hard lockdown until like a Mars with a Yules. He can go. He can feel good about going like non-carry items with like an Orb of Corrosion.
A little tougher now, but still all right.
Nah, I think it's too good. They have no way of killing him in the first 25 minutes of the game.
Any sort of percent base damage is not bad either. All right. Wow.
GPK
Ballsy.
Invoker with a Faceless Void.
I didn't even notice that. I almost always assume that hero's gone. That's too good. That's way too good.
Yeah.
I would have.
There.
I feel stupid for not calling that one. That's a little bit too easy, I think.
Not only does it work so well with the Faceless Void, if we're going to Quas Wex Invoker, Wraith King, Tidehunter, and Mars actually all hate EMP a lot.
This was... I think that Tide pick's going to lose it for him. They're just too all in on this 5-man again. VP handled it so well game 1. If I didn't have game 1 as a sample size, I would have to say maybe they can get the 5-man that they want against VP, but they're not going to give it to him. And then VP is going to get their items.
お前はもう死んでいる
A faster pace that Team Spirit did take in game 2 is required for them to be able to win this kind of draft,
Yeah,
right?
they're only tower takers, Wraith King, though. So if he goes like an armlet Deso, I could see that that pace being ramped up. But if you take the classic wait 15, 17 minutes to get that Radiance, that's exactly all Faceless Void needs to get that Mask of Madness SNY when he's got the power behind him, and he'll be ready to fight you at that point.
Okay, it sounds like an uphill battle, but that is what Team Spirit was expecting in a matchup against Virtus Pro. See whether or not they can make the climb to first place with ODPixel and Kyle.
Indeed, a very important game 3 here for both of these squads. VP versus Spirit. And as we heard sort of from yourself and the panel, seems like you're not big fans of what Spirit's got out this game.
No, not at all. I mean, think about that last game. They're just able to hunt always because cooldown's so low and limited. And Yatoro certainly can carry this, but
sure,
I don't know, man. I feel like VP, their team fight with all spells active, a good Chrono still neuters most of the Spirit lineup. A BKB Void just kills Warlock, kills Mirana. Saves himself. Well, maybe. Arrow.
Oh, that's going to be a first blood here, surely. See who gets the kill. Oh, yeah, they'll let Toronto Tokyo take this for the mid lane. First blood for him.
Thanks, guys.
What did he just buy off the bat? He's not Russian bottle, just free stats now. That's nice.
Yeah, just got the full one coming out for ready for the laning stage. Nice early move here from Spirit. And I mean, so as you say, it's a lot of long cooldowns on Spirit's side, but I mean, over on VP, they have Chronosphere and RP, but just overall, you feel that VP's lineup just can get more done without the big ultimates?
Oh, arrow again. Nice juke.
It's all right.
They got him. No, they didn't. The wand that he didn't buy. That was the mark.
Stick chat, yeah. Yatoro's stick was enough to save there with a shadow word. Toronto actually ended up losing his courier, so he actually won't have the wand early. As the courier is actually getting taken down amidst all that chaos.
Well, entertaining start to be sure. And yeah, I think that Spirit, they play best when they don't have to sit on their hands. And this game, there's going to be moments where they simply can't be active, and then the Empower just negates any sort of farming advantage the Wraith King might have against the Void. And also, DM, he's been standout for me so far in this game, or in this series rather.
Sure, what, even last game you feel he was playing the best?
I mean, he was doing his job. Perhaps he could have got active a little more, but he was trying to farm that blink up, beat his carry to it. And in this game, this lane specifically, they want to pull the wave out of tower. That 3 armor bonus to Yatoro is pretty significant.
Well, that's pretty insane there as well. Look at his win rate. 5 games this patch on Wraith King, hasn't lost a game.
Hey, it's like the Alliance DK. When in doubt.
And look at this as well. Collapse. 7 games, hasn't lost a game.
Wow.
You don't get better win rates on your off lane and carry than this. So even though the draft may be stacked up against them.
Oh, look at that. Mira, 9-1.
I mean, there's no denying they win on these heroes. They win an awful lot on these heroes.
Will they win this game, though? This is the toughest competition they've got left. Virtus Pro is all that stands between them and a bonus 200 DPC points, which I believe would place them at 600 total. Pretty close the threshold that I think will get you into TI. I was talking with a couple stats guys. They figured it'd be somewhere between 600 and 800. Or rather, 500 and 700. I just made that up. But it sounds right, doesn't it?
Well, it sounds like a lot. It's a big number.
I'm dead.
Let's see. Interesting. So DM though going a different build. When we saw Koifa play this, it was a 2-0-1.
Yeah.
He's going for a totally different style. And I'm surprised by that. They have CM aura, so you'd figure that they'd actually be playing more to cast spells. So bit of an innovation in comparison to what we see in the Western EU division.
She saved, doing a very good job here of pushing back the two of them on his own. So that the power of the Lina in the lane. And mid. And so far, Toronto Tokyo having the edge, but we'll see how much things begin to change once GPK's got the levels and able to mess with the Mars quite a bit with that EMP. Bottom, oh, little rush with the arrow there this time, Mira, but it doesn't matter. Wow. It doesn't matter at all. The physical damage just destroying Kingslayer.
Yeah, it's a rough CM game. I like the early level in Gush. I always get a little sad whenever I see a Tidehunter skip it because the minus armor, it's one of the best level 1 spells in Dota. 40% slow, minus 4 armor, lasts 4 seconds. And you can see. Squishy like CM,
destroys them. You got this any sort of lane backup that's able to get him with the easy hits, and Mirana, absolutely one of those heroes. You have a good shot of getting a lot of kills early on.
This mid lane's probably the one to watch. He's the most even. Haven't seen GPK play too much Invoker. Well, he plays it, but not their first choice so far in the DPC. Just gonna see how he chooses to itemize. I haven't seen much success. Waswex. Oh,
it's all right.
Is he dead?
He's looking pretty dead unless the Shadow Work can do something amazing. Oh, he's actually gonna live. It is. It's just enough to Shadow, and yes, Save's got to be careful. More damage comes in really onto the two of them. Save will fall, but him and DM will manage to get back in time. But there we have it, the power of the Warlock. And heals enough to keep him alive.
The lack of power in that shockwave. Double damage for the second point. Instead, we have 2 in power.
Actually, yeah, that is surprising. Yeah, going for sort of the 1-2 one. Yeah, putting more points here early into that Empower.
Just not a fan, especially with Arcanes. Like, the shockwave spam is just so effective. I understand you want to give bonus damage to both you and your ally, but it's not what I've seen most other offlane mags do. Let's see, Rune is not spawning because it's 5 minutes, Kyle. The bottom lane. Going very well for Team Spirit. Void pressured into buying more regen as well because he just takes so much harass. That's the second or third salve used.
That's a complete free farm here for Collapse. So they do have this excellent lane combo as we see.
Oh, they saw that ward too. It's a free XP and gold bonus. I'll be countered, no problem. Push.
Yeah, this is what whenever you're sort of laning against a Lina and you're getting chased down, there's not really much you can do about it as a Warlock. Unlikely to be killed solo by Save, but kept pushed right away from the action and giving DM this chance to farm. And obviously, with the extra points of power, this is the benefit. You are going to have that heavy right-click advantage.
Man, I just realized EG, they're like the only team I've seen that use like an old photo as a spray. And if only Fear was still part of the organization, we would have got that bathroom photo. That would have been a spray.
That would have...
Talking about asserting dominance.
I mean, Valve would have doubled their value as a company.
Instant sold out.
Yeah, they would have sold out of an unsell outable item.
Servers crash.
Power isn't going to last long.
Oh, he's going for the skewer. Will he get it? No. Does not happen up top. Another. It's the pixels too. Like they spent the whole budget on the rights to the photograph.
Oh,
that's a kill.
Here's the first move for GPK. Ooh, that's gonna save him.
Okay.
All right, it's forced out, but it keeps him alive.
I think you take that. You force a rotation. That's a Ravage for a TP.
Well, GPK not with any quick measures of being able to get back to the mid, so yeah. Space made and no lives lost here for Team Spirit.
Will that continue? So far, so good. I mean, the Spirit lineup certainly benefits from a slower paced game. They'd love an opportunity to get all their big spells online. If they can take the fights that they want, pretty tough for VP until much later in the game. Just gotta watch the Void's item progression. That's the key. He's gonna have a free Battle Fury thanks to his mag. Wants a good start. Want to see some more Ancient stacks coming out as well if possible.
Have we got any? Well, not quite yet.
I think
maybe
that's
first round here.
Yeah, Lena's posted up. He knows his job. Does he have multiple?
Oh, yeah, he's got a double here.
Yeah, there you go. Will he get both?
Yeah, perfect.
Both. Easy.
I'm dead.
Time to spare.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Radiant's bottom
30
tower's
mana,
got
boy.
problems.
On top GM.
I had to work so hard to get my voice into the game.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Needed the blessing of Val. Same with you, Owen. With these players, they just get to insert themselves. How do you think they determined that? Only 3 voice lines, but 5 players. They fight for it? Based on branding?
I imagine so.
Captains?
Yeah. Or DM. Can they do this? Yatoro, he's got 1 charges, but and he will
ulti,
still
yeah,
be
he's gonna do
off.
it. Oh, what? He didn't stick.
He wouldn't. It
Okay.
yeah, it wouldn't have been enough, right? Do some maths. Oh, Chrono's down. All right, dropping the Chrono for him.
I think that's enough.
No, it wouldn't have been. It's 150 mana, right?
10.
10 times 15.
Times-
Oh, he had mangoes.
Yeah.
He had a lot of mangoes.
No,
okay.
the mangoes were just picked
Oh,
up. by-
okay, yeah, I was going to say I don't think he had the mangoes when he died.
Wait, 10 times 15.
That's not hard. You can do it.
That's 150, but the ult costs 180. Oh, and he wouldn't have been. He would have done.
He wouldn't have. Yeah.
He would have.
He wouldn't have had it.
Radiant's bottom tower.
You know, he knew as well. You know, he wasn't wasting those charges. Yatoro did the maths.
True.
Oh, I'm going to catch him here.
Not.
Not that he wants him. Well, he does still have GPK up. Now Yatoro definitely having enough mana sustain to make things a little difficult when it comes to VP trying to punish him here. And 4 heroes, and 5 heroes.
5 heroes,
in
they're
back
just
two.
top.
Thanks, guys.
I don't
This,
like
this feels a bit awkward. You
Yeah.
gotta split up. This ain't time. This is not the time to group up and go.
I mean, I'll be honest. VP didn't really play so clean in that last game. We were a little critical, but deservedly so of their smokes. Just, oh, well, we gotta do something. Oh, okay, let's try again. This game feels like that same, Deer Lost in the Woods vibe, where they find the kill, but then they're all there. They don't have tower pressure. You're not going to be able to fight if the Tide TPs. They lost bot tower while that occurred. Like, their whole jungle is just gone. So, yeah, maybe just chill a bit. Go farm an Ancient stack with your Void MOM. Probably your only play.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Going for that Margus this game, GPK. A little earlier than what we saw from Toronto Tokyo today, rather than getting the full vessel, just sticking with the urn and going straight into it. Once the levels are going to have a heavy benefit this game. He's got some fantastic setup for that potential down the line. Gets that Ags, that Cataclysm, RP. I mean, a lot of stuff, like multiple sort of setups for that sort of late game, just game breaker.
I really like that he's going to go for the Midas before Vessel on GPK. The urn is nice. It's a little sustain, extra damage, very good for Quadsplex Invoker. But to go full Vessel in a game you don't really need it, just kills your item progression. The earlier you get the Midas, the better. Whoa.
Golem dropped.
Whoa.
Arena as well. Oh, they're straight in onto GPK. The Ravage coming in as GPK.
We got him.
Everything thrown down onto the Invoker. Going to try and chase down Kingslayer over to the side. The RPs come out. They got the damage though. DM and Nightfall trying to focus Toronto Tokyo. Laguna comes out. Toronto Tokyo is still on the retreat. The Chrono's down. Team Nightfall has the damage with the Light Strike Array. Oh, no,
Whoa.
they don't have further detection. They're not going to be able to kill it. Toronto Tokyo actually lives as VP. They're going to lose it. 4 potentially. TM's trying to run. They've got him. 4 dead on VP. They get nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They took a fight 4-on-5. I know they used a bunch of spells, Owen, but Team Spirit, they had so many more remaining. Like, no Invoker that's the team fight for Team Spirit. They get off the RP, they get off the chrono, but there's just no damage.
I mean, look at this.
I mean, a whiff, and then I love this from Spirit. Just go. Like, they just blow everything just on the edge of that rock golem, and they use every single ability. Expected a shorter TP, I think. That would have caught the mag, and perhaps this fight goes even worse, but can it go worse for VP? I'm not even sure. We see the RP, but there's just no damage.
It came out to, I believe, just Toronto, Tokyo, and then this man just tanked an RP, tanked a chrono, yet he still doesn't die.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Team Spirit. You know who's rooting for them? Every single team in this region. VP's going to TI. If you're Na'Vi, you're ASM Monaco Gambit, you are just thinking, hell yeah, Spirit, let's go. Because if you get to the major, that's one more team we don't have to compete against. And I already can foresee a final where it's those two teams playing for that one spot. It's kind of weird, but you don't actually want to root for the strongest team in your region in this season, too. You're hoping that next best steps up. Back stroke.
And aggressive on a collapse, but collapse, he doesn't fear VP right now. In fact, Teepers are coming in. Yatoro will land the stun onto Nightfall. Nightfall, and this arena for Toronto, Tokyo, though, it's caught GPK. They're on top of the Invoker. Invoker's going to get taken down, and now Nightfall has been left behind. He's got a time walk. They got any further catch it. GM's got to come across and try and get some safety for Nightfall. It's going to skewer Yatoro in. A light strike array holding back the Wraith King. Mirror collapse. They're still chasing. They're hunting him for DM. They're going to be able to find him in the trees. DM, he's got RP up, but he's not going to want to use it here. He's dead for sure. He'll accept his fate. As again, another move here where Spirit, they're just rolling over VP.
This is unbelievable. They're just fighting, and VP is like, okay, let's go for it. But guys, I know you got confidence. You're brawler extraordinaires, but this is not a team you can fight into. They didn't even have Ravage, but the threat of it was there.
Yeah.
It was coming off cooldown, so you knew buybacking and trying to recommit is not going to pan out.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'll blink in a moment.
They're doing that without the ultimates. You know, the ults are going to be good to go. As you say, yeah, blink or collapse ready to fly out.
And we doubted the draft on, but we should, our observer, they showed us the truth. These players, undefeated Wraith King and Tidehunter so far. One win, 9 wins, 1 loss on the Mirana. Hell yeah, you talk about comfort heroes, just pick what you're best with. Rock and roll, this is great stuff from Spirit. And the free smoke. They see it coming. Careful.
PK not able to do anything, of course, onto Yatoro himself.
I'm dead.
Got to play very careful, VP. They can't allow to have any more fights as the last few have been. GPK, is he going to go for this? They've scanned him. They actually they scanned. They know GPK is still around. Oh! They've seen him. Arena's down. They've found him. Team Spirit there, knowing that GPK would still be hovering around this bottom half of the map.
And they hit him with the tips. The VP still laughing. But those that gleeful laughter is turned into a bit of a nervous tick, because I don't think they have an idea of how to fight once again. And VP, when they can't fight, has not seemed like the same team.
No.
Blink Ravage available, top 3 net worth, all Team Spirit, and their 5-man is just nuts. What's the Wraith King's build? Is he gonna have a Radiant sometime soon? Indeed he is. I love that he went for the armlet this game though. Keeps them, it's just so cost efficient on a hero like Wraith King. And that Midas is starting to look like it might not be enough to get GPK back into this.
It's going to be a slow one. He's had such a rough time off the last few moves that Team Spirit's been able to make against VP. And Team Spirit, they're not stopping. They're going to hit them with the smoke themselves.
Oh, they had a great ward though placed outside the Roche pit, so they saw that smoke. Oh. Close.
Nothing to get in there though. Collapse. And save over to the side. I think he is.
I will commit to this.
He knows the score.
Oh. Some nice jukes.
Oh. No. I like the communication you can make now with enough voice lines. He was dead, but the best situation was certainly found, which is to just survive that extra 15 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower
Time
is
waste.
under attack.
I mean, VP, they've got to do something right. I feel like we're falling into sort of the same boat as last game, where VP just not a whole lot's being done. A Spirit 11 for 2, 7k lead and growing with every passing minute. I mean, good growth there against VP. VP, of course, they do have a solid combo themselves. Chrono, RP,
Chipped away.
but not the easiest of teams to find it against. Very unlikely that you're going to catch many of Spirit's members standing on top of one another.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
And you're going to need BKBs plus these initial damage items that are coming out of Virtus Pro before you can actually fight into Team Spirit. They just have way too much AoE control. Expect their next move to be Roshan. And there's that Midas on GPK, but it's looking rough, man. 11-2 the score. Neither support on VP is going to have much survivability. Continuing to hunt with the arrows. The warding is ideal now. Yatoro controlling the Radiant Ancients. That's key. Whenever you're playing against this mag draft, Collapse putting his body between him and the enemies. You can't target a Tide Hunter. It is not going to end well for you, Virtus Pro. And
Well,
once
they're
again,
yeah.
let's smoke into nowhere.
And Nightfall's actually just going to break out of it.
This team, maybe this explains a bit of their underperformance in the major. When they aren't in control of the game, they look lost. And
Radiant's top tower has looked better.
I mean, now it's so hard to make a move. Team Spirit are prepared. In fact, there's the jump. Collapse. Jump to Kingslayer. VP, they still want to try and go for something. They will break the tide away from the rest of them. But in the arena, Nightfall's been caught. Jumps out with the Time Walk. RPE being used on the solo Collapse. The odds come out with the Ravage is ready. So he can disrupt the time that Nightfall's getting to try and beat down on the heroes. The Golem is up. They drop it on the Void. Nightfall's gone. As again, just Spirit having much greater composure in these team fights, as VP are really struggling with these 5v5s.
I'm out of the Sunstrike.
Collapse.
Run!
He's gonna blink in a second.
Yeah, he will.
Ah, they've got him.
Hey!
So something to be found there at the end of it, but still not really big enough of a kickback against Spirit to get VP in a happier position. They lose the tier 2 top. Money's going to be there for the relic to be grabbed by Yatoro. Things continue to look up and up here for Team Spirit.
You said it yourself, Owen. Like, you know, the Twitch chat, everyone could see that Ravage coming. He's standing there. He's like, okay, you want to do that?
Nightfall.
Okay, there was no scenario that was going to work. He chronos. There's a Ravage, interrupts the CM ulti. Of course, Collapse is going to pop his spell. GPK, that's popping. Careful.
Mirror is out of leaps. One in a second. They do anything to save him? They cannot. Another kill found here by VP. But yeah, like sort of pre-BKB, it's hard. You know, any of these sort of large-scale AoE ultimates are always going to mess with the Void, right? The Ravage, even just the drop of the Golem, you're just taking away those precious seconds that Nightfall needs to lock down on whoever he's caught in it.
I actually think this might have been a BKB rush game, even before the Sanj and Yasha. Just because you need uninterrupted damage in the chrono.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy, yeah.
If you don't, because you're never going to catch all these heroes. Somebody, somewhere, is going to have something to throw at you when you've used the chrono this game. It's not easy.
DD, love this from Toronto. BKB right after. I think VP, you know, you'd love to get something going. No Ravage. You have RP, but you don't have a blink on DM. Thus, your initiation is a Tornado or a Chronosphere. It's not realistic.
In the Spirit, they're going to look for the Roshan objective here.
Good time.
And I think they're pretty much getting away with this. Radiance done on Yatoro.
Solar Crest, Vlad's next item. Love it. Just stack those auras. Bonus damage. And a gem to boot from Aposhka. Look at the ward control they've got. Sure, they have no control over bottom of their Ancient camp, but they don't care. They're just trying to deny Void this Ancients. And I believe they've done so successfully for the last 10 minutes or so.
I don't think he's been really able to farm this area at all.
Yep. Now an Aegis Wraith King. I've got a Radiance. Suddenly my farm increases, and VP, it's the same old story. We're gonna smoke into the Aegis with Ravage and all other spells on cooldown. Good luck, sirs. Good luck. You got Blink on Mag. RP.
It's a tough move. But it's just sort of a testament to show how rough of a position VP feel that they're in if they feel that they have to try for these sort of plays. There. RP's dropped down. They've got Toronto, Tokyo. Clean move and nothing to be done. So all in all, that's something. They can't really hope for too much off the back of these smokes because of them being behind. Getting a core, it's not bad.
I don't know, man. Like, they just give up 2 towers for that now, though. At least bottom will fall once the creep wave gets there. And honestly, if I'm Spirit, I just keep going.
Sure, I mean Spirit, they're not going to be shaking up too much. But at least for VP, better than the smokes they're able to find towards the end of last game. It gets them a kill, they don't lose anyone.
I disagree, Owen. I don't think that kill gives you much at all.
Yeah, but smokes last game weren't great,
True. Okay,
the standard's not very high.
It's better.
The standard's not high. They had a rough one in the second half of last game.
Yeah.
So it's progress.
It's like getting catered food, right? Yeah. If it's edible, it's above average.
Yeah.
Now he's back alive, and it's time to chase VP back to their side of the river. Oh, careful.
DM.
Oh, if he had quick cast, maybe he gets that Yules off.
All right, they'll get saved instead.
I'm dead.
So, you get the kill, you push lane, you lose tower, and now Spirit just kick you right back out. And if he gets vision of the high ground with the courier, he's going to grab the 1 ward placed as well. Now on to mid. You've got Aegis. Time to go. I'd like to see Spirit fight. They won't be able to time it before Void has BKB, so the fights get a little more difficult.
And
so they're not out of the... Like, look, making memes of it, but VP, they're still in this. They've got Void. They will have the late game. You can always find multiple man Chronospheres.
And talk about making memes. I'm not too sure about the item saves got queued up. What do you reckon about this, Kyle?
Was it a Meteor Hammer or something?
I'd say even more kind of strange. So on save, on the Lena.
Okay.
Does that do much for him this game?
Not against Tide. Mars is going to have BKB. Maybe for the supports?
I mean, Mirana's got a Yules.
The right-click damage?
He's I was gonna say, yeah, there's no way he's buying an Orchid.
Okay.
He's not gonna buy them.
Here we go.
They're much more expected. The Glimmer Cape.
This was so inherited from Soul. It's like, gosh, we can't get out on the map. We're losing. Let's go smoke, guys. We're gonna fight him.
Allies disappear.
This move's gonna hurt. If
they should have seen that. Fort Spirits got blocked.
Oh.
Will they venture outside of the base?
We've got the full ags on GPK. We do. We got the full ags. So he's.
Whoa.
Oh. They make the jump. Nightfall is able to get the BKB off. Now maybe they can look to turn. They're in. Onto the two of them. They've got the Chrono down. They're focusing. The Cataclysm coming into play. Takes out Toronto, Tokyo. Brings down Yatoro at the once. Ravage comes out for Collapse. Catches the 4 of them. Now T-Spirit's ready to hit back. They're onto DM. They take down the Magnus. Buyback comes out straight away from him as Yatoro will fall a second time. Ready for a third round though, of course. Turns towards Nightfall. RP comes out from DM. The Light Striker Ray is there as well. They've taken out the Wraith King. Dead for good now. As Wraith King's gone, VP now ready with a cleanup. Collapse, he might blink out to safety, but Meposhka, he'll get left behind. It's VP able to pull together a solid fight outside the walls of their base.
That was sick. Like, big mistake from Spirit there. They all in for this idea they were going to get a stun arrow off. Does not land. And suddenly it's like, oh, okay. Well, Collapse, thank you very much. Yeah. Use that arena. I'm going to chrono you. You're going to go down. Cataclysm Chronosphere. They just got that timing.
It just delivered. Literally, we had the courier flying in. There it is now.
What happens to the arrow? So here it comes in, and he just BKB'd. Yeah.
I think it hit a creep, actually.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, Collapse just puts himself way out of position. As soon as you get the double chrono, like, this is it. Doesn't matter the rocks there to counter-initiate. It's just kerplow.
I mean, this combo is going to hurt. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. Cataclysm, with this sort of setup,
yeah,
it's going to kill someone. Almost certainly 2. You know, it is going to be something that will be quite the challenge for Team Spirit to fight into, despite the strengths and lead that they have built up.
Yep, love the buyback from DM too. He knew I have RP. Maybe I'm not needed, but secures the kill. They kill Wraith King 3 times.
Yeah.
They might have just straight up turned this game. Like, might have counted him out too soon, but oh wait, or have we? He has no buyback. Push bot wave, 74 seconds.
That's a big window.
Someone better help Dyer's
Big window, no Magnus, no Chrono.
Do we have Ravage up soon?
About the same as the Chrono here, same timing.
Okay. Mid-tier 2 will likely be a target. You gotta be serious. Spirit, they need better initiation. You also cannot go for a Void in that spot if you're not able to 100 to 0 him, because he'll just leap, now full HP, now BKB, and if all of a sudden there's 3 heroes in melee range, it's the easiest Chrono of your life, and we witnessed there. Cataclysm equals double Sunstrike on all targets chronoed. And yeah, see, I like this more than what we saw out of Toronto Tokyo. You know, he maxed Exort. Like, I think that no matter what, as an Invoker, you never want to see max Wex. It's just not nearly as impactful as getting to hit this crazy Ags max damage Sunstrike Cataclysm combo. This is what the hero is meant to do here. And yeah, that net worth is quite low, but it's deceiving because
That's the damage you can do.
Yeah, he's a Cataclysm. That's his role in a team fight, and it's all on the Chrono. No hard save on the side of Spirit, so they got to be very cautious. VP, oh, to do something smoke. You love it. Cooldown's up. Let's just go, folks.
Yep.
Can't stay stuck in our base.
Chrono and a Cataclysm is going to kill anybody.
They don't want Mira.
Want something bigger. Ooh, it's
not buyback.
Not necessarily the big Chrono they were hoping for. Just a Warlock.
Outpost bottom is available as well.
Oh, they're still going to try for the RP. He's got the two of them, but the counterplays there for Collapse. Comes in with the Ravage, but the BKB's out for Nightfall. This Cataclysm comes in. Toronto Tokyo goes down. Yatoro goes down the once. Buyback's coming out straight away here from Team Spirit. They look to try and turn. Yatoro's in with the jump onto GPK. GPK in with the Ghost Walk, but the Golems drop down. GPK pushing them back with the Deafening Blast as he'll try and run, but the Gush is there. Collapse jumps in, finishes him off. Team Spirit make the call to put all in on this team fight, come in with 2 buybacks, and now they look to try and push the high ground whilst Chrono and Cataclysm are down.
Oh, the creeps, do they have a wave? Oh, it's counts. They got credit for, I guess, one of those creeps that had just died out. Oh, wait, no, just kidding, there's an archer. A lonely archer is actually going to enable this push.
And they're jumping in.
Going.
Nightfall! He's going to get pinned to his own Ancient. And they got the farm, they got the Gush, they don't have enough damage. Nightfall, he's tanky enough and more than happy to turn Yatoro. He's dove in for this, he's dead for once. So they can take him down a second time. The stun is out of Nightfall, but they got the Laguna, the Deafening Blast, push the back. Nightfall's able to get the time walk off. Yatoro dying underneath the tier 4s, under his own play, going to dive in. As Spirit, they'll throw away 2 of their lives, and now they've got to run. VP hot in the chase out of the base. Toronto Tokyo popping the arena, and the Spirit trying to push them back. Nightfall and Mirror going to be chased down here by DM. Mirror and Toronto, they will get out of there, but still out. A bit of a dive there from Spirit, and it will hurt them. They'll lose up on that opportunity to potentially get the tier 3 in the racks.
I can't see the future, but I think in about 5 minutes, we're going to see some 6-4-4s being spammed in the chat. That was one of the more YOLO moves I have ever seen. Oh, what do you wow, Spirit, like so much. They could have got a Rax, perhaps. They could have gone back for Roche. I mean, instead they dived tier 4s.
They were just, and it wasn't even close to killing Nightfall. We saw they stunned him. He down to half HP, if even that. Nowhere close to being able to threaten the life of this Void with that dive under the tier 4s. And now Roche, it's all VPs. And in a state of the game where buybacks from both sides are kind of on cooldown, spent out, it's just meaning everything there we have at the moment where it really did all go wrong for Team Spirit.
The arrow's off. Maybe if that arrow hits, you've got a shot, but even so, a GPK buyback ends that. Like, he's an Invoker. He's going to Tornado. That's going to buy you enough time to get the Void leap off. And they're literally under tier 4s.
Out of no situation.
There's no Ravage.
I think if anything, they were lucky to not lose more heroes here, as they are able to get the 3 of them out. The big one being the one that hurts the most there, losing Yatoro off the back of that jump.
And if you look at the net worth, these feeds...
It slammed right back round,
Yeah, Nightfall suddenly
look at that.
Gets real... This is why they third picked it, wanted to prevent any scenario. Spirit were able to grab it themselves. Void going to be the late game hero in this critical game 3.
Yeah, he's huge now. Off the back of that fight, you see, yeah, this SNY, Scardy, BKB. You can't jump this, man. You can't jump, and the chances of actually blowing him up, you're just not quite there. You know, your Toro, he needs that AC done. He needs that extra bit of oomph, really, to be able to have the damage to kill Void. Void's going to be jumping all over the place, and even if you land all the ultimates, he's probably still going to be able to do so. Nightfall, an incredibly hard target to kill at this stage.
The battle resumes.
Unpause. But I just don't know, man. This is getting harder and harder. Soon there'll be BKB on Invoker. Suddenly, Spirit's complete lack of real BKB piercing Dable. I know they have the Warlock Golem, but it's really just not the same.
Not going to cut it against a carry that's not, you know, that's the BKB and multiple, you know, jumps. Nightfall's getting out every single time.
The easy shard as well. Love that. One of the better shards, especially against all these big cooldowns of Spirit. Maybe bait something out.
Absolutely.
Pop out to save.
Yeah, we'll see what the next move is. It's going to be a lot harder though. Pretty much back to even on the net worth. They're going to try though. They're coming out with the smoke. Again, this time they'll be the team making the move into a side that does have all the ults ready. See, they'll catch DM. Toro's in. DM. They save him in time. The golem's going to be dropped down. DM can't get off the RP. The Chrono comes out from Nightfall. Cataclysm follow up as well onto the three of them. They take down your Toro, the ones Toronto, Tokyo all four as well as Mira. As Nightfall, he's ready to keep the cleanup going. Over towards your Toro. Triple kill for him. And they're not done yet. The Tornado control for GPK comes out onto Collapse. As Spirit, they really have. They've collapsed completely. Nightfall, ultra kill. And when you have sort of this large of a loss of momentum, I don't know if you're getting it back.
They're feeling themselves now. That was just, again, a punish on Toronto Tokyo. Nightfall playing near flawlessly with Chronosphere's placement.
Yeah.
Every time the Mars is caught off guard, he's just chronoed. It's a bait almost. He's looking at Yatoro, looking at Yatoro. Oh, there's a Mars I can grab too. All right, Chrono, Cataclysm, GPK. Super simple game for him. Once the fight breaks out, he just chills, waits, brings down massive pain, and Alacrity now. This Arax. Still an Aegis as well. Maybe go for more.
Yeah, full MKB on Nightfall. These massive items just continue to fly out off the back of every successful team fight. And Spirit, what do they got? They're going to have the full roster probably up. Maybe after we'll see how much they can go into the side. Yatoro! DM gets the jump immediately, takes Yatoro out of the base. That's him down once. Is he going to get the backup in time? I don't know. BKB's coming in by Nightfall. Yatoro, he's instantly dead. A beautiful grab there from DM. And Yatoro, he's gone and out of the game. 70 seconds, no buyback. They have just... They've just destroyed Yatoro. The last three moves ever since that dive under the tier 4, Yatoro's just completely lost it.
Man, you know, it really looked like VP were on the ropes. I'm laughing at them as they smoked to nowhere, it seemed, but credit to them. They make you beat them. And they just played with more tenacity, more aggression. They're the ones fighting, so they're setting up the fight.
They know there's no buyback on the Wraith King. They can play as aggressive as they want. Grabbing Collapse. Collapse, no Ravage for 20 seconds. He's trying to run, but Nightfall's chasing. Collapse is gone. He does have buyback. Still a lack of Ravage and a lack of a carry. As VP, they'll push on. See how much this first buyback scares them. I don't think it does. They still know Wraith King 20 seconds.
Chrono in 5.
As they're looking for the end. DM. He's grabbed Mira. Mira tries to leap out, but Mira's gone. Does have buyback available as well. The damage being done here. The tier 4s are taken. Nightfall, as you said, with the Chrono, he's gonna continue to stay here.
GPK just chilling in Invis, waiting to Cataclysm. Oh no.
Gotta watch for this Chrono Collapse. He's in with the Ravage. I think of the follow-up. They got the arena, the control onto the Magnus. The Chrono's gonna get dropped down onto the backline. They find the two squishies. Both Mira and Maploshka wiped out. Out for good. No buyback available for them. Nightfall now turns over to Yatoro. Brings him down the one. With no Ravage, there's very little Collapse can do to keep this Void off the Wraith King. The chase is on. The RP comes out as they're all going down here. GG is called. VP will continue to hold on to the title here at the top of the league as they take down Team Spirit here in this game 3.
And they pop off too. DM, you deserve that one. He's excited. That was a hell of a performance. Every time he died in a team fight, he had an immediate buyback. Knife was like, yo, chill, bro, chill. I've been here before, all right? We're going to go undefeated once again. It looks like 6-0 now, VP. Near guaranteed first place yet again in DPC Season 2. And crushing Spirit's dreams of a potential automatic TI berth without performing at the major that they will still attend.
Sure, but I mean, this game as well, yeah, VP, you know, been able to pull it back as well from a mid game that looked like it was all getting lost. It was falling apart, but then sort of the players came in, some mistakes from Spirit, and you know, VP, as we've come to see many times, it's just a